It's like, goodness gracious. You're not old.
No. I mean,
like, you don't even know this, but Trayvon's 52.
No way.
He just looks really good because black doesn't crack. I remember when Trayvon told me, he was like, yo, I'm 52. And I'm like, 50? Goddamn, two. What?
Yeah, minus 20.
It's okay, Trayvon. You never have to feel guilty about your age, man. It's cool. Clearly, I'm 16 here, so you know, whatever. But welcome everybody to an all new episode of Galactic Review. This is the show where we talk the newest episodes of Book of Boba. Hopefully, more people will start to file in. Joel did tell me he's running late. I don't know about anyone else, so we'll see. They kind of come and go as they please. But join with me, starting with Joe from Just Your Average Joe. What's up, Joe?
What up? Let's talk Star Wars.
And Joe has the chosen one on his lap, Anakin.
Anakin, what show is complete without Anakin on my lap, huh?
None.
Especially a Star Wars show, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it just goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
And always, Trayvon. What's up, Trayvon?
I am happy to be here to talk about, I don't know what to call the show anymore. It's not Boba Fett. It's not Mando. No, it's not.
It is.
This is Star Wars stories. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on.
You legit saw Boba Fett in this episode. That was the whole complaint last week.
He didn't even talk.
He did talk.
Did he?
Yes.
Did he really?
Yes.
You sure?
Wait a second.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
I don't think he's talked. I think Finnick talked. He didn't talk.
No, he did talk.
He did not have a speaking line in this.
He had a speaking line in this episode.
He did not. What did he say?
He did.
What did he say?
He was telling when Mando was telling him that he might have help.
That was Finnick.
No. When Mando was talking, when he was responding to Finnick, Boba had said, I can't remember what Boba said, but he had said something back. But I think you guys are just
he did not talk in this episode. I'm gonna look it up right now, but I'm telling you, he did not say anything.
You guys are making this way larger.
I'm fine with it. I am loving these last two.
If Tamar Morrison hasn't complained, it's fine.
I'm sure he's not complaining. He's still getting paid.
He's getting paid.
It's fine.
No, but it's also just a celebration of Star Wars.
Yes.
It's called the Book of Boba, which means there's numerous chapters, and some chapters might not be about Boba, as we see. That was a chapter last week. Wasn't about Boba. It was about progressing the world that Boba lives in.
Can't wait for my turn. I can't wait for my turn. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then go first. Let's start there. Go first, so you can get all the stress out of my body early. And then we can go to Joe. I won't even go first. You go first.
I am very happy that I'm just going to start here. I'm very happy that I watched the amount of Clone Wars that I have so far, because honestly, the last cameo we got, I was like, who is this? Like, I knew immediately, and I felt so good about myself. I was like, I know who this is. I was like, look at him. He's walking up. Before I even saw the blue skin, I knew. I was like, yes. I was like, I felt so good. I felt so good. And I was like, I can't wait to, I'm pretty sure Juwan is crying in the corner somewhere at this point. And when I saw this, I was like, I wonder how he feels. I wonder how he's so happy. And I know you predicted it, but I'm pretty sure you didn't really think it was going to happen fully. Did you?
Oh, I did.
Did you? Okay.
I had only been saying it for forever. I mean, and me and Christian Harloff talked about it, and we're just like, well, clearly Boba's not a bad guy, so someone has to be a bad guy, and it will be the Pikes.
I just went back and watched it. He literally just stared. Not one speaking line.
I knew it.
Boba did speak.
He did not.
One speaking line.
No.
I'm telling you, I have it written down in my notes too. He has not one speaking line.
I'm putting subtitles on. Hold on.
He didn't talk.
Yeah. He didn't have.
It was all Finnick. It was all Finnick at the end.
Because I made a reference to that in my notes. I said, well, at least we got to see him this time. Maybe he'll have a speaking line in his own show in the finale.
I'm not even mad at it. It's fine. You see the picture I got behind me. We good.
You can't be mad. You can't be mad.
The start of the episode, I was just like, I was like, oh, I was okay. We're starting here. I was like, cool. We get to see him. That's a cool cameo. And then they just hit at the hit. I couldn't believe it. I was just really surprised that they went this far with it. Like, we got R2, then we got Luke, then we got Ahsoka. It just is crazy. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I just really, if you love Star Wars, you were really having a goddamn blast with this. Like, just seeing all these people and him giving Grogu the vision. It's just a lot. This is a very Star Wars thing, like very Star Wars just episode. I feel like almost like the most Star Warsy episode we've gotten overall, both shows to me.
Yeah.
From what I've seen. I don't know. I'm just really excited about it. I've been actually enjoying watching all the people react to it that are more into it than I am. Cause they get so excited and scream. And I see people tear up. I've been watching videos of people tearing up today. I was like, this is great. This is fun to watch. Just the excitement. I'm excited, but I'm not, not there like everybody else. So I'm excited to actually.
Trayvon, you didn't tear up? No, hold on a second. And let me give you the moment, though. Let me give you the moment. This is the moment I did.
Okay.
When he's flying away and Grogu reaches out to him.
I was like, oh, that's
come on.
cute.
You didn't feel anything there?
I don't know. I was like, okay. So it's cute that he's reaching out.
Yeah.
But it's like,
because he sensed him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, I don't know. It was interesting that he didn't fight a little bit more harder to go or something. Well, I don't know, or something. But I was like, this is cute. But I didn't I don't know. I guess I'm not as super emotionally attached to this. Like you guys, I'm assuming are. So I'm actually mainly tonight, I'm just excited to hear you guys talk about it. Because I know your guys are gonna go have a good time. So go for it. This is what I hear. I'm excited.
That was it. You were so eager to go. I thought you had like a hot take or something.
I was gonna like rebut anything you said just to be mean, but I'm gonna let it go. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I started with you.
There is nothing to rebut or refute.
I know, but I would have made something up.
I got you. Because look, on one hand, we can make fun of the fact of what we've been making fun of, right? But on the other hand, we got a really good episode of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I mean, no one's complaining about.
It's not Boba. I said it. It's just this is not Boba Fett. I'm sorry. Our last episode was definitely Mando season 3, episode 1. I don't care. That's how I felt about last episode. That's what it felt like to me. This one is very much
Star Wars All Stars.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, that's really what it was.
Well, look,
and Boba did not talk. And I don't care.
How many cool cameos did we get in this? Obviously, we said R2, right? You got Luke, Grogu, Ahsoka, Cad Bane, Cobb Vanth, Boba. All of them had really nice cameos. Boba had a cameo
in his own show. Yeah,
in his own show. So it fit in with the theme.
Fennec was the
of the cameos. At least Fennec's like, you know what? I'm going to take the reins here. I got this.
Really? Fennec talked to Mando. She talked to the last episode. She talked to this one. Just like, huh.
And I think I said last week on your show, Jawan, that we might see Cobb Vanth, right? I said he's a possibility because I brought up Mayfield, which is Bill Burr's character. I said, but what about Cobb? Because we haven't gotten him yet. Maybe Timothy Oliphant comes back. And we also speculated with the fact that Filoni was directing this episode. I said, what about Ahsoka? You think we see Ahsoka in this one? Because that's his baby. And you said, well, Cad Bane is too. Well, we got both of them. So this was a very, not only Star Wars filled show, but it was a Dave Filoni forward show and or a episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Go ahead and take over. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Trevor.
I did one more thing. I was trying to figure out if it was somebody else and they just CG'd his face on for Luke.
Deep fake.
From what I understand, that's what I heard. They hired somebody.
Yeah, they hired the guy that does the deep fake. That was like on YouTube awesome. And stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it looked amazing.
Yeah, it did. I was
looked
this
amazing.
Was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe. What were your thoughts?
No, again, look, I loved it. I love the opening scene with Cobb Vanth. I very, very Western. What do you call it? What exactly happened? I forgot what it was. So we see the spice, right? Which was more money than his town, but he's like, you know what? I'm going to kick it in the dirt. I'm going to let it go to waste. I could use that for whatever. But again, I get it. It's drugs. So it was cool that we got to see the spice. He let one go. He said, look, I run this town. If you're going to let you guys know that you're not running through here. I'm the marshal. Look at my, look at my belt. Look at my colors. I'm the Marshal. So we obviously got the repercussions of that with Cad Bane later on in the episode. So, we're like, all right, well, guess what? I'm the guy, whatever, which, we know how that duel went. But
he's not dead though, right? He got shot in the
no,
shoulder,
he
right?
wasn't fatally shot. The other guy was
got shot in
fatally
the
shot.
shoulder.
He
Yeah.
was just shot
He
in
shot
the
him
arm.
3 times. Yeah.
I don't think Cad Bane's point was to kill him. I think it was just to wound him. The other one,
3 shots.
The other one's, I'm assuming, dead, right? What do you think, Juwan?
Yeah, sure. 100% dead.
How do you guys feel about that new angle that they tried out? They obviously utilized it in last week's episode too with Mando, but the cockpit shot that they've been using, as opposed to a different angle, but the one that's literally like almost like that Top Gun feel of the way most like fighter jets and other movies are filmed with that cockpit angle. Did you like that? Do you like that shot of Mando and flying?
I mean, they use it a lot in the prequels. Revenge of the Sith starts with that. Starts with Anakin and Obi-Wan flying their ships, and it's kind of like a cockpit shot. But it is like a direct shot like that. I mean, those wide shots are always great where you get a larger scope. But yeah, it's just, to me, Filoni's vision for filming things is beautiful. That Ahsoka episode of season 2 of Mando was one of my all-time favorites because he hit on everything that George Lucas believes in. Westerns, samurais, he just hit on everything. So yeah, I appreciate that shot. What about you, Trevon?
Oh, I love that. I think it's a great shot. I love how it looks. I don't know, shows, I don't know how he's steering. It's just interesting to watch, I guess. Yeah, he can I'll be terrified. But it looks fun. I guess he's just going. I love it. I love how it looks. Yeah.
What planet is that?
Which one?
The one that Luke and Grogu and Ahsoka's on.
Endor.
That's Endor?
Yeah.
Is that
whatever planet that the temple got burned down in, whatever that in the movies, right? And then
Kylo?
I don't know how canonical that still is. I'm not.
Well, I'm assuming that's the temple, right? That they're talking about, right?
They tried to compare. They were comparing angles and shots of what those like droids were building in comparison to what the visual was once it's built and laid to set to fire. Right. It sort of looks similar. I just didn't know the planet. I didn't know the planet back then either. I thought maybe it was Titan.
I don't know if it's the same planet because the school was way different in Abrams' movie. Not Abrams, but what's his name's movie? But this is definitely Endor. I think you even hear Ewoks as Mando's landing.
Okay.
So yeah, I think this was Endor. I'm not definitively saying it was, but I think it was Endor.
Okay. All right. Who do you think saved Grogu from the Order 66? Because we don't see that far.
I don't think anyone did. I think
Grogu did it just capture him.
You think he just runs?
No, I think he watched that from a monitor.
Oh,
literally right there.
Okay, because it looked like he was right there in the action, but all right.
But it was from a POV. But that POV could have been him watching it on the screen and feeling like he was right there. There's not many Jedi that were still breathing that could have gotten him out. So I don't know. But I will say that was a waste of a fucking shot. If you're gonna give me Order 66, why wouldn't you give me Anakin mauling down?
I thought about that too, but I don't know. We'll get him.
Waste.
I know.
That's a waste.
It would have been cool to see Hayden. We would have been cool to see Anakin in that shot. I do agree. That was one thing I actually thought we were going to when that shot took place, but
because that's a horrible look for Jedi. Like when you watch Revenge of the Sith and you see how the Jedi died, it was more so like shock and awe, right? It was Plo Koon was shot from behind. I can't remember her name. She was just shot in the field, surrounded by clone troopers. This was more like you're the three or four Jedi. You're watching them come up the stairs and start shooting at you. And you're telling me not one of them was powerful enough to take out any of those clone troopers?
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I'm like, I would have preferred if it was Anakin that was just mauling them down, because that would have been a deeper connection. Because I don't know if Luke could see what Grogu could see, or if he was just restoring what Grogu could see. But if he
could just restoring,
if he could see it, that would have been so beautiful to have Luke just see how horrible his actual father was. Like,
That
I
would've
mean,
been-
he gets it as Darth Vader, but his father was killing children at that point.
It would have been, yeah, I agree. It would have
I
been.
They're
It
just-
would have
saving
been.
would've
him
felt
for
the hell out of
Obi-Wan, right?
I don't think you need to save it. That there's no better point.
That-
Anakin does not mean more to Obi-Wan than he does to Ahsoka and Luke.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's that. And again, you don't have to do one and subtract the other. He could have showed up in that little part, which could have actually been something that they shot for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, but just used here. And then, because again, we have to remember anything we see of Anakin will either be flashbacks, or just like Force Ghosts or whatever, because he's mainly going to be just Darth Vader.
Well,
So I'm
I
like, a
don't-
chance to see Anakin in his full glory would have been awesome.
Actually, at first I agreed, but I don't know about that. What was your actual statement? That Anakin doesn't mean as much to Obi-Wan as he does to Ahsoka and Luke? Is that what you're?
1000%.
I don't see how that's possible. Only because yes, Luke is his son, and I guess that's his blood. I know that's his blood.
That was his Padawan, right?
But no. But how much time did Luke have knowing that that's his father?
No. I'm saying
True.
Anakin finding out that that was his son, that connection is way, again, we keep forgetting, if Obi-Wan's connection to Anakin was as big as we know Anakin's connection to Ahsoka was, Obi-Wan would have handled Mustafar much differently. But you could clearly see Obi-Wan had nothing to offer Anakin at that point. That friendship had died. There wasn't a brotherhood. There was nothing that could have walked Anakin back. But we all know, especially once you get to the end of Clone Wars, Ahsoka 1000% would have talked sense into Anakin because that connection was deeper. Obi-Wan kept saying, "You're my Padawan. I raised you to be a Jedi Knight on your own." But that's it. We're not best friends. You know what I'm saying? He could never show that emotion like you see Anakin and Ahsoka show. He loved her. He loved her like a sister.
I'm not refuting. I'm not refuting the Ahsoka part. No. That's not what I'm pushing back on. I'm pushing back on Luke, and only because I just don't see, like, it was literally just like what in the course of how many years passed by between Empire and him finding out that a Skywalker actually survived and he has a son that's living from when he dies in Return of the Jedi. Not much time.
And I get what you're saying, but again,
Obi-Wan was his brother. The only reason why, and that was the difference between Obi-Wan, a trained Jedi, and Ahsoka, where she left the Jedi Order, is because Obi-Wan can't love somebody like that. Although he did, he still loved Anakin. He called him. He said, "Look, you hurt me. You were my brother." But he was already down the path. It didn't mean Obi-Wan didn't want to help him. He just felt like he couldn't help him.
I'm not saying he didn't want to help him. I'm saying he did not handle it like someone that loves someone.
Right.
That entire.
And Luke showed you you could.
Exact. That's my point. But again, Luke's relationship with his father is explored more in the comics, way more in the comics, where he sees the Force Ghost, where he's haunted by his father. It's explored more in his relationship and his need to know his father was way deeper than Anakin's. And remember, all Anakin wanted was to be with his kids. That's all he wanted. And it was robbed from him. So again, a connection with your child is, I assume, because I don't have any, but definitely is way deeper than a friendship, regardless of how short-lived it was. But again, Obi-Wan, even in the comics, Obi-Wan stressed that he should have handled that moment with Anakin.
Equate it the way I'm equating it for 1 second. I understand you saying that there's a lot of canon or whatever that I don't know about. Obviously, I can only go by the movies, and honestly, anything written afterwards really was never part of the greater story anyway. What we see in the movies exactly what was visioned in. But the thing is, let's say you're really close with Joel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you and Joel are really close. You have a brotherhood or whatever, and you guys are friends for how many years, right? And you a little older than him, so maybe you raised him or he raised you, whatever. You find out that you're a baby daddy in a day. You're going to tell me your bond with your son that you just found out you have is greater than what you had with somebody that you can call brother? No. I don't care
mainly
lineage.
because it wasn't as simplistic as oh, hey, you're my dad. Oh, you died. That was it. They shared moments. Vader sacrificed himself to save Luke.
Right.
Luke
Right.
also sacrificed himself to show Vader there was a better way. There was a whole connection there. It wasn't as simple as like, damn, dude, here's your dad, but he died.
I am simplifying it, but it literally was in the course of a very short time that he even found out that his kid was even alive. So I'm just saying, I don't know. Again, I'm not refuting the connection. I mean, that's your son and that's your dad. Luke is the reason why he turned in the first place.
1,000%. Luke is the reason he turned both ways.
So I'm not refuting the connection. I'm not necessarily refuting the connection of Luke. And I'm sorry we're going down this rabbit hole. I'm not really necessarily refuting the connection with Luke. That was the big part of his sacrifice, was for his son. I'm just saying I wouldn't necessarily right away say, well, it was stronger than what he had with Obi-Wan, only because of the length of time and how Obi-Wan at least cared for him and how he cared for Obi-Wan at one point.
I'm just saying I've seen Ahsoka and Vader both walk Luke. I've seen Ahsoka and Luke both walk Anakin off the ledge. Obi-Wan could never do that. He was always saying, I fucking can't control this guy.
Yeah.
He does what he wants. Ahsoka could easily get to him because that was a deeper connection. And as far as I'm sorry, you weren't finished, Joe. Go ahead.
Oh no, wait. I wanted to talk about something else from the episode. So tell me you guys didn't at least gasp at one point. I'm watching the show. And then Luke is obviously training Grogu at this point. And he takes out one of the marksman training probes that Luke does a sparring with in A New Hope with his lightsaber. Now, obviously, Grogu has no lightsaber. So I'm like, wait a minute. That thing's just going to shoot him. Because he's got nothing to defend himself. So he has no idea what's about to happen. And of course, I'm like, they're not going to do that. And then all of a sudden you see, and Grogu gets shot right on his ass. I started laughing, but at one point I was like, no, they're not going to do that. I thought that was funny. But what did you guys think of the parallels that we got from Luke's training with Yoda in Dagobah? The flipping and.
I think Luke saw firsthand how fucking stressed out he was making Obi-Wan and Yoda on a day-to-day basis. He understood, like when he opens his eyes and Grogu's eating a frog instead of meditating, he's just like, damn, I was probably this bad. So
he also said, let me flex for a second as well.
Well, no, it was more so him showing, he was trying to show Grogu, like, look, you could have everything you want, but you have to work for it. You have to train. You have to get better at this. And look, you could have all the fucking frogs in the swamp here that you want, but you just have to work harder because it's more than just eating one frog. You know what I'm saying? You have the possibility of having so much power. So I just took that more so as him not really flexing, him just telling Grogu, like, hey, there's 1 million here you could eat every day. You just have to get better with your powers, and you could just, you know what? I'm hungry. I need a snack. Force. Here's a frog, Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was a lot of really cool parallels. I mean, anytime you see that species in a backpack, it's always awesome. You immediately think. Yes. I actually bought that figure set. They sell that figure set of Luke holding Yoda in the bag. Yeah. So that was awesome. But I think my favorite part of that
I have the Funko Pop of that.
I love that look so much for Luke, that outfit and everything. But I love when he was force pushing. He just like,
he was picking him up.
Fucking slow. Like, come here. Like, come here, move. Come on. Yeah. Come on. But no, I mean, I love that a lot. I can't wait though till Grogu gets out of that outfit.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's very restrictive. Like, you can't even really walk in that. It's like walking around in a potato sack.
Right. And I'm very curious, like, how does he fill out that outfit? Is he a little chubby baby underneath that? Is that why he couldn't?
I think it's going to look weird when he's not in that. Can you imagine him being without that outfit, just in that chainmail? The chainmail.
Well, that's why I was upset that.
Is it chainmail?
Apparently
or
the armor.
Chainmail.
Chainmail. Mail. Okay, I knew.
That's why I was upset. The armorer thought she was making an outfit for Prince instead of what the fuck you make him a mesh shirt for? Like, he couldn't get real armor, like just something. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the mithril armor from The Hobbit.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah,
it's flexible though. That's why.
No, that's fair, and he's super small, so you don't want to restrict him too much. But still, goddamn, like, what is that? And Mados all crying, like, please give this to him. Grogu probably looked at that shit and was like, I'm definitely taking this lightsaber. What the fuck is this? Like, I have clothes. Why would I turn down this weapon?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking that they're leaning towards he's not going to stay there, but at the same time, like, how do you not take that fucking saber? It's actually cool that we saw that.
What if he tries to take it? What if he goes to the chamber and force pulls the? Do you think Luke will let him keep it if he tries that?
Well, I did think about the possibility that if Luke tells him to trust in the Force and allow the Force to guide you, and the Force guides both, like they both start levitating. I was very curious. I'm like, because I tell you right now, the only thing that would break the internet in this season finale is if Luke and Grogu show up with lightsabers and just start wrecking shit. The internet would completely shut down.
Yeah, they would, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying I don't want to see it, because I do want to see it, just like I love this episode and the episode before that. But if you really want to turn the internet upside down, you'll do that, because they'll be saying, okay, so episode 5, you need a Mando. Episode 6, you needed all these people now. In episode 7, you need Luke Skywalker again. And I wouldn't. I mean, again, I would watch it. I'd love it. That would be amazing. But I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I wonder if Luke comes to help. And maybe that's where he trains a little bit, very, not train, but maybe give pointers on how to use that saber, the dark saber to Din. But because we didn't get that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think maybe next time Din meets Ahsoka. Luke clearly, as he was stating, does not have time for shit like that. He's looking. I would think Ahsoka too. I was thinking the same thing. I was wondering if I actually was thinking that too when they had the interaction. I thought maybe Ahsoka would have seen it on his hilt and asked about it. Say, hey, wait a minute, is that, or like, because I don't know. You would know this, obviously. Does she know what that is? Does she know about the darksaber? 1,000%. Yeah. Yeah.
So seeing that in his possession would have struck up a really good conversation. So it would have been
the biggest
cool.
Conversation would have been, why doesn't Bo-Katan have this? Like, why do you have it? Did she let you keep that? And it's like long.
No, I killed her.
Long story. She's in my trunk actually. But no. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I don't think that messes anything up. They've made it very clear that this show is bigger than Boba Fett. This show is about progressing so much in the Star Wars mythos going forward. So to me, I don't think that takes anything away. I think if you make it very clear who the bad guy is, right? Whether it's Cad Bane, whether it's Kiara, whoever it is, right? And Boba kills them, you still drive home the same point. I don't think bringing in Luke or Grogu retracts from that. It's just extra help in a war that he clearly needs extra help. Because now you have to assume those people aren't going to want to help just watching their.
Oh, actually, no. I think even more so, because I don't think Cobb Vanth is dead, and I think even more so it's going to be like, wait a minute. So our Marshall was just shot. Now, granted, I understand they want to stay out of it, but I think it's going to propel them to fight even more now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think so too. You saw the guy was looking at him at the end. He was like, okay.
That bartender was, that bartender's like, okay, I think we got to,
God bless him.
They'll keep messing with him. They're going to keep messing with him, though. They can't just ignore it. Like,
look, God bless him. That's what the Ewoks thought. And we almost lost every fucking Ewok on Endor.
That wouldn't have been a bad thing. That wouldn't have been a bad thing.
The Ewoks were like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm going to join in on the fight. And the Empire almost wiped out all of Endor. So be careful, people. Please be careful.
Love the, look, I'll say this. I love the Ewoks in 1983, but I'm not really a fan of I'm not saying I'm not a fan, but I can do without them. I do have one really quick other thing though. We're assuming, I'm assuming, they say if you don't see a body, it didn't happen, but there's no way everybody in the sanctuary, including Garza, is dead, right? I mean, she was literally right there by the ice cream maker, right?
Yeah.
Well, she was closest to the door, and the guy
She
was
was
pretty
also
far
close
back.
to the droid, I thought, or maybe that was just the way.
No,
the
he was
camera
behind her.
No, the droid walked close enough that there's no way that bomb didn't hit her.
Well, because the explosion went through the door, so even if she was close,
we didn't
door,
see her. Yeah, we didn't see her come out the door. So that's true.
Now look, we all know it's gonna happen because it's Disney. She's severely burned, and then Boba goes, "I know exactly what you need. You need a good ass bath.
You need some good Bacta.
You need a good ass bath. I know right where to take you." And then we get flashbacks of her life. She was training with.
Now she'll be loyal to him, and now she'll be loyal.
She'll flash dance. She'll be sitting in the chair, and the water
will be in
drop.
the chair.
Yeah.
And she'll go, "I used to be a stripper. That's crazy." But no, everyone in there is dead for sure. For sure. But I could see them trying to make her survive.
Great way to start the war off. Let's start it. Let's get it popping.
Yeah, because that's Boba's bar now. So Boba's gonna be like, "Hey,
nice message. Boom.
Yeah, fucking with my money."
Now, my only other issue with this, though, and I have a long written down thing. I'm not going to get to that, though. I'm just going to sum it up.
Please get to it. No, don't skip
No,
over.
I'll tell you why. No, because I'm not going to read word for word, but this is basically what I want to say. I'm really still not sure of what the story is that we're telling, and we only have one episode left. And the only reason why I say that is tonally, the last two episodes really don't fit with the first four. And I understand we've gotten four different directors, right? Rodriguez, Howard, Filoni, and I'm so sorry, I can't really remember who. I don't remember who directed episode 2, but we've gotten 4 different directors. Obviously, Robert Rodriguez 1 and 3 felt similar because they were the same director, but I love these last 2 episodes. I really did. I think the last episode was even better than the one with just Mando. I mean, how can you not, with all the juicy bits that we got? But I might be in the minority when I say I don't know if I really like the fact that we got Luke and Grogu and Ahsoka and all of that, even though, again, it's like contradictory because I'm telling you that this was my favorite episode and I absolutely fucking loved it. I love the nod to Order 66, even though I agree with you. We should have gotten Anakin maybe in that shot. I think that would have a little bit of an overkill because that's just another character from the prequels, but that's the one you probably needed more than anyone for that one shot.
It just made more sense. That was really.
But I really thought we were getting. I really thought Din's interaction with Grogu or even Luke was going to be off camera, and we were going to see that in his show, right? Well, you want to bring Ahsoka in that at that point, fine, that's great. I do like the fact that they're all intertwining because it's a shared universe. So I'm not gonna completely just ignore the fact. Oh well, they can't have cameos. Of course you can. There's no reason why you can't have a character drop in from time to time in everybody in each's episode. Boba did it for Mando, so did Ahsoka, and I'm sure maybe 1 or 2 of them are going to do that for her series if needed.
See, go ahead.
I just don't feel like the only ones that really felt like they were supposed to be there was because it told the story of what we were getting from the first few episodes was Cobb, right? And Cad Bane. That was amazing. I first of all, I don't even know anything about Cad Bane, right? I was watching somebody doing one of his watch-alongs, right, from last night. Obviously, didn't watch it live. And I knew from the moment we see the silhouette in the distance through the sand, I knew that was Cad Bane. Just from the shape of the hat, the slender body, I knew it was him. This guy couldn't figure out who it was right away. And I'm like, that's Cad Bane. That's Cad Bane. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I just felt like maybe they didn't need Luke and Grogu and Mando and all these other things because it really does.
You should feel bad. You should feel terrible that bothers you.
It does. No, it doesn't bother me
right now. That's some bullshit.
It doesn't bother me because I loved it, but I just feel like this is Boba's show, and what you're doing is you're basically even solidifying even more that he can't carry his own show.
Yeah,
he didn't have the story planned out for that long.
He didn't even have speaking lines.
I kind of agree with you there. I feel like it undercuts his show. It does. It's called Book of Boba Fett. We barely see him in these last couple episodes, and I would say it wouldn't it wouldn't hurt the show that much if the first couple episodes were received better. like to me, like they weren't like compared to these other ones.
No, Trayvon's 100% right. Yeah,
Mando was great from the start.
What does that have to do with?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It does. No,
listen.
The episodes were better
if there were more action.
Listen,
yeah, no, if there was more action.
Mando was good the whole time. So when Ahsoka came in, it didn't like take away like, oh, we only want her now. Forget Mando. We didn't do that. For me, like with Boba, this show has not been as good. You can't tell me this show has been great from the start. That's been well received like the other show, like Mando was.
I'm not saying that, but it makes no sense that if they were received better, you would have still gotten.
No. Let me explain it. You're telling me the writers wrote this, thought the first 4 episodes were bad, and then wrote these next 2.
No, I'm saying that I don't know what they were thinking for doing this.
That's exactly what you're saying.
What I'm confused about is you're saying if
they knew this would save it. They knew this would save it.
But you're saying that they planned that it was going to be bad.
No, it was more like, and I don't think that, but it could be also too with Trayvon. I don't think even Trayvon was even thinking that far. But my point, to his point, they could have said, you know what? Let's play it safe. We'll do the first 4 episodes like this, just in case. Let's sprinkle some of these characters in to carry the show a little bit.
All I'm saying is you guys, the point you're trying to make is a small one that I guess I could wrap my head around, but it's like you guys, from what I'm hearing, I don't want to put words in your mouth. This is just what I'm receiving from what you're saying. Is that if the first few episodes were received better, this would make more sense.
It would.
But then you're saying your problem is that you're taking away from Boba. So you got a whole bunch of Boba. So whether it was good or not, your point now is that you're not getting enough Boba.
No, the point is...
No, I'm not saying that.
This is just making us realize even more how much we don't like the character.
Oh, well, again, that's a...
I don't think if we went fully through the show without any of this, it wouldn't be like
that's a personal preference. All I'm saying is I saw Mando season 2 where I saw Cobb, I saw Boba, I saw Fennec, I saw Luke, and I saw Ahsoka. Right. They all were there.
Right. But here's the difference, though. But here's the difference. First of all, that was the second season of his series. That was already the second season. But the other thing is, too, not once did you, at least I didn't, maybe you guys did, not once did I say, you know what? Fuck this Mando guy. I want to see more of these other people. What they did was...
as soon as Ahsoka popped up, I said, where the fuck is her?
That's Ahsoka. But
as soon as Luke popped up, I said, where the fuck is Luke?
What Trayvon is saying is if the first 4 episodes of this series were solid, right? The addition of these characters would have only just made it better.
Enhanced. Yeah.
That's it. It would have enhanced what was already good. If you give us stuff that was blah, and then you sprinkle in like spice that's amazing.
Here's the problem with your argument. You're taking your opinion on the first 4 episodes and saying that that's the same opinion the creators had.
It kind of is.
No. Not the creators.
How is what you're saying not that?
Not the creators. No. I'm talking about the critical response.
General public.
You're saying that these 2 episodes were on purpose.
No. Obviously, they were on purpose because that's how they wrote it. No, but I'm saying, I think that the way the series was written, with the way that these last 2 episodes went. Again, I don't know how the finale's going, but the way these last 2 episodes went, it's doing okay.
No, I know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is these last 2 episodes are doing this series more of a disservice than it is doing it a good deed. It's taking away even more so from the audience at this point, and maybe it's just me. I don't care if the main character gets killed. I'm actually welcoming it. Because if
I ever go back to this show, I'm watching 5, 6, and 7. I'll just how I feel. I don't need that. I don't need it. I don't need the Boba stuff. I don't
give a fuck what you don't need. My point is, my biggest point is, this show was created the way it was created.
Right. No, it was written the way it was.
For Trayvon's response.
Right.
They didn't just throw those 2 episodes in to save the season because that was already
done. I know that.
Many moons ago. And then on your part, Joe.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, because yes, there should have been more Boba. That was weird to have 2 episodes and basically have no Boba and yet be in Book of Boba. 100% agree. Maybe the story was much shorter than they thought. And
it's also a limited series too. You only have 7 episodes.
Right. Exactly. It's even shorter than normal.
I think what we also have to keep in mind is we don't know if their plans is to make this a multiple season run. So
Yeah, I never expected it to be more than one
this
season.
could just be a bridge. And
You know what I wanted to ask you guys? If you guys think that they might tell whether it's Book of Boba, Mando, Ahsoka, or all of them actually combined, if they're all going to connect at one point to a degree. Do you think we get a finale? Exactly. Do you think we're going to get a movie to be the finale to these series?
It depends, because if you guys keep reviewing it the way that you've been reviewing, you won't get shit.
Well, no, because there's other characters involved. This is not a Book of Boba Fett movie.
Why we don't get good things.
This is why we don't get cool shit. But no, I mean, it again, if I always viewed Book of Boba as possibly just being a bridge to get us to the next season of Mandalorian, right? You kind of just catch up with Boba. You have some fun with Boba. You explore all of the galaxy. You bring all.
You don't call it the Book of Boba.
This really cool shit.
And don't call it the Book of Boba.
You had 4 episodes in a 7-episode season where it was all Boba. You just didn't like the Boba you got. That's a personal.
That's different.
That's a personal thing. Yeah. I would 100% agree with you if we only had 1 episode with just Boba. Then I would go, well, then yeah, you might as well just change it. You had 4. You just didn't like the 4.
Even with the 4 episodes, it feels like you only had 1 because he barely did anything in the other ones. And I am including the fight at Tashi Station. I'll include
No. You don't like what he didn't do, basically.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's a personal that's a personal thing. I don't think they're doing anything wrong. That's a personal feeling a lot of people have, that they don't like what they're getting from Boba. But you're getting a whole shit ton of Boba in the first 4, then in the 7. So there's only 2 where you didn't get any Boba.
You don't know that. You can't speak for the finale yet. Hell, we might get 1 line this time.
Come on, Joe. You think the finale has no Boba? Come on.
But why should and here's the other thing though, why should the finale be the thing that saves this series?
Again, that's a personal thing. I've loved this entire season. I don't think there's anything that needs to save it. It's been great. I've been going with the flow of it. So if you want to do 4 of Boba, explore Mando, explore Luke and Grogu, I'm fine with it. I'm a Star Wars fan. Again, I'm not bogged down to just Boba. I just want to see some wicked Star Wars shit.
And I agree in that aspect. That's why I can appreciate, and I had a hell of a ride with the last 2 episodes, especially the last one. It was
I'm telling you this right now. In the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, if there's 8 episodes and 5 of those motherfuckers are all Darth Vader episodes, you will not hear a fucking peep out of my mouth. Why?
Well, that's because that's a character.
Thick ass shit.
A character you love.
But first of all,
everybody loves.
I love all these characters. Is my point.
But I'm telling you though, I wouldn't. Again, you're forgetting though, and that's why it comes down to what Trayvon had said. If the first 4 episodes, granted, whether it's a personal opinion or not, I agree. I agree. It's a personal opinion. It's a very, very, common personal opinion for most. If the first 4 episodes that did have the title character in it actually had a little bit more substance, I don't care who you bring in for the final 3. I don't care. Because you told a story that was cohesive. This storyline is all over the place. It's all over the place. I don't know whose story it is.
One straight line. It's one straight line. It's very clear. Like, I would understand you if episode 4, right, was Boba going, we need some muscle, right? And then Fennec Shan was just like, you just got to know where to look or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, we're watching Ahsoka just in the middle of a fucking pond, just meditating. And it's like, what the fuck is this? But going to Mando, knowing that she was looking for Mando, and you just giving us an update on what the fuck he's been doing, that's not all over the place. That's like, okay, I just didn't expect it to be a full episode of it.
I didn't expect that.
No, that was okay. So, but that was just one. But that was just the one episode. That was just the one episode, right? That's fine. I'm okay with that, and I loved it. But now you got this episode that has even more cameos.
Time out. But this episode makes even more sense because the last thing he said to Fennec Shan was, "I got to make a stop," and then we saw the stop.
Yeah, I just didn't expect to see the stop.
That's all I'm saying. So all this to me bogs down to what you guys did and did not expect, and what you did and did not want. And all I'm saying,
no, I expected it. We all expected to see possibly Grogu and even Luke. That's not. It wasn't unexpected.
I did not expect that.
But
I didn't expect that until we saw Mando. I didn't expect that until we saw Mando.
The other thing is too,
Yeah,
like
I didn't expect that until we saw the planet that he was flying to. I was like, oh, so they're gonna do this.
I was hoping it was going to be
Okay.
off camera, but I, you know, he
I did
says,
too.
"Look,
I did
I'm not
too.
going to help you until I do this. So you'll have to do that unless the war doesn't, unless everything doesn't really progress into the final episode." But, what was I going to say? The Mandalorian, Din Djarin and Grogu's story, right, does nothing. Mandalorian does, right, for Boba, because he's going to help Boba. But the Grogu and Luke connection, which I absolutely loved, does nothing to progress Boba's story, that's all I'm saying. So that's why I said it wasn't needed. Either was Ahsoka, because Ahsoka had nothing to do with Boba.
You're right.
Cobb,
No, you're right. But why are we complaining about it?
I said I loved it. I did say I loved it.
Why do you care? You just said you didn't like the first 4 episodes. Why are we complaining about it?
That's all. But that's all I'm saying, because I see it. I saw it all over Twitter where everyone was just like, "Bro, I don't understand. It's Boba's show. Can we get more Boba?" But I'm like, but weren't you saying you have not enjoyed any of the Boba you've seen? So I'm like, well, clearly they're not going to drastically change Boba's mentality, right? You're just going to see a more kick-ass Boba, but he's not going to drastically just go, you know what? I'm going to just start killing everyone I see from now on. So I'm like, he's not going to turn into the murder bot that a lot of people want him to. So I'm like,
you mean the murder bot that was in the Mandalorian season 2?
They gave you a break from Boba Fett. Again, he was just defending himself.
After massacre, so he goes back to being that murder bot.
But again, and that's why I appreciated the line Cad Bane said, where he was telling Cop, like, look, Boba is a murderer. He used to murk people for the Empire.
Yeah.
And Boba's been trying to tell you guys for 4 fucking weeks, I don't want to be that anymore. I don't want to be any of that. Any of it. So I'm like, when you're like, well, we want you to kill like you used to do. How many times does a man have to say,
No.
I told you
there's
no of myself anymore.
I'm not saying that. First of all, he's not a bounty hunter anymore. So I'm not saying that. All right. That's what's going to separate him now from Din Djarin, right? Din Djarin's a bounty hunter. He takes jobs for money, and he's going to be the gunslinger. I'm okay with that. I'm not saying that that's the character of Boba Fett I need. And we said this so many different times.
You don't like passive Boba.
The passive Boba that when you're pretty much the metaphoric spit in the face that he's turning the other cheek to, where I would have liked some aggression just to show some force, to show some fear. That's it. And Fennec even says that. I know Fennec is not the boss though.
I'm pretty sure that they know what they're doing. That's why she said that.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day,
one-time crime boss. He doesn't know what he's doing now.
But that's what I'm saying. It's an evolution. There's a story that needs to be told. It's not all going to happen in one episode. It's going to take more than 4 to get there.
Again, does he know how to be a mob boss? No, but he knows how he wants to go about being a mob boss. That's the difference. So he can't just fit into a mold he doesn't want to fit into. That's all I'm saying.
Unless, and I really hope this is going to happen, and it might. You might think I'm wrong, but it might. He's going to come to terms with that's not who he is, and he's going to have to become the man that he was. And that's how he's going to rule.
It's possible.
And I will say this. If he does that in the finale and that saves this season for you guys.
No, I wouldn't say the season, but that would be. Wow. It definitely wouldn't say the season. That's like having a movie that was and then the last 30 minutes is great. I guess that's not the case because I did enjoy the last 2 episodes a lot. But no, it would. You know what? Yeah, it would. And I'll tell you why. Because it would be a satisfying. Hey, look, any way that they decide to satisfy the audience and end it, I'm okay with. I don't know if it saves the season, but all I want is a satisfying finale.
So hold on. Let me just ask this. Let me just ask this, and then I'm going to pass it to Joel because I am just genuinely curious.
Okay.
The word all over the place was said, right?
Yes.
So to you, it's more fitting that a guy who has made it very clear that's not the direction he wants to go in. Mm-hmm. They changed that in the course of 1 episode. Mm-hmm. That makes more sense than anything else we've been seeing.
Yeah, because it actually goes in line with I actually have to admit this isn't that my own thinking completely, because I was thinking that maybe that was going to happen, but earlier, not in the finale. I thought maybe he was going to change his ways halfway through the series. But the way the dream sequence when he got high with the lizard in his nose, the way that could be interpreted is that he's either have to let go of the way he was, or he has to embrace where he came from. And that might be the way he used to be. I'm not saying he has to be a cold-blooded killer, but just be the Boba that we know. So I wouldn't mind it seeing end that way. But again, I don't mind any satisfying ending. The wait is just as long as it's done right. That's all.
Okay. Well, I thought it's been done right so far. So just keep that same energy next week when we get to the finale, if he stays, quote unquote, this passive. But Joel, before we go to you, let's read some of these comments so these guys don't think that we're ignoring them. My dad wants to know, Joel, are you enjoying the Knicks game, though? He did ask.
Am I enjoying it? Yeah, it's better than it was a couple minutes ago.
Did they let go of Randall yet?
No, not yet.
I'm not gonna let go of Randall.
Not yet. Prayers don't get answered that quickly, Joe. Love the Old West gunfight.
Football.
Gunfight feel to the ending. It was very Clint Eastwood feeling.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, listener Jim. And what's up, listener Jim and Mr. E? Welcome to the Luke Skywalker show. Okay. Good. This episode was Bane's return. I welcome. My favorite character, Cad Bane. I'm with you, Mr. E. I will forever say that is the greatest bounty hunter in all of Star Wars. I thought the Jedi could have put up a better fight than they did in that memory.
Yeah.
Again,
Jawan, you said that.
It was just for the memory, though.
Again, like I said, my issue wasn't that they necessarily didn't put up a better fight necessarily. It was just if you wanted to drive that home because of the characters that were involved in the scene, it just would have made more sense if it was Anakin wiping through those Jedi. Because that to me would have scarred Grogu more as a Padawan, right? Seeing the Master Jedi you saw with the Council and walk through the halls every day, wiping out the entire Jedi Order. That would have been more compelling. But seeing Master Jedi get mauled down from the front, because if you remember, like I said, if you remember Revenge of the Sith, everyone was killed from behind. They didn't see it coming. So I'm like, the fact that they're watching them come up the stairs and they can't block it or anything, I was just
except the Padawan Jedi gets shot down, but because there was multiple, it was only one, but there was was multiple. That's the one that Jimmy Smith tries to save.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. But do we know that they were Master Jedi though? We know their level.
Yes, one of them was. You can usually tell the status by
robe.
No, not the robe.
I was trying to figure out if I knew who they were, and I couldn't really.
No, they were throwaways. They were throwaways. None of them were actual like Jedi. You can go, oh shit, you went through Mace Windu like
that was Mace. Well, because that lightsaber did almost look purple, but I know it's not.
No, it's not.
It wasn't.
I can tell you right now, I think the only other person I remember having a purple lightsaber was Revan. That's just not a common color that anyone has, which is why a lot of people thought it was racist.
It was created. It was created specifically for Samuel, wasn't it?
Yes, that's what he wanted. Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got here before we pass it to Joel.
And that just what they were saying about the Western, right? The standoff between the two. That shot of Cad Bane from his legs, and then you see Cobb Vanth in the distance. I love that. But that's just a Western. That's just that feel, that shot, the cinematography of that. It's great.
Obi-Wan didn't really have the time to drive home that Luke couldn't be attached to things or people. So Luke's exposure to the ways of the Force is a little bit more forgiving. Well, no, what I appreciate about Luke, and especially reading the books and seeing Luke, is he does not have the full knowledge of the ways of the Jedi. He has a little bit Obi-Wan taught him and a little bit that Yoda taught him. That's why I appreciate Dave Filoni feeling the need to bring in Ahsoka, because Ahsoka does outrank him. So it is another essential master that he could learn from. So I appreciate when he's asking her, like, what the fuck do I do with this kid? And she's like, you just got to trust the Force. You just got to trust it. It'll let you know. Because like I said, remember, Anakin did not want Ahsoka when she first landed on that planet as his Padawan. And he just had to trust in the Force, and he accepted her, and they became the best of friends. So
what was that line she said? What did she mean that when he said, I don't think he has the heart in it? And she said, oh, you sound like your dad.
Yes, because Anakin very much felt with his heart. But what she was referring to more so was Luke's simplistic ways of looking at things. Anakin was very much, this is how it should be. It's why Palpatine, when he found out he could easily just overthrow Anakin's thinking, he was like, oh, fuck, this is easy. Like, your wife's gonna die.
He used his mom, and he used his mom as bait. Yeah, he used his mom as bait.
But also, again, if you watch Clone Wars, you see when Admiral, I was gonna say Thrawn, not Thrawn. I forgot the Admiral's name. But when the Admiral is leading Anakin and he's telling him, like, look, I don't fuck with the ways of the Jedi, man. Like, we go very, very political. This is how the way things should go. Anakin very much agreed with him. Like, I don't agree with how the Jedi view things.
Tarkin?
Yes, Tarkin. Thank you, Tarkin. When he rescued Tarkin from that prison, they were talking about how they don't agree with how the Jedi see things.
I'm off target.
And it's why Ahsoka started to learn for herself. This isn't the way the Jedi should be.
Mm-hmm.
And Trayvon, you'll definitely get to that, and when you get to that, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
In the final season,
It just gets better. If you like it in the beginning, then you'll love it at the end.
1,000%. So much so, you'll go, God damn, this ended. Like, there wasn't more you could do. But you'll very much
imagine you actually get to see the ending, but we had to wait.
I think if we actually see Han now, if that's even a thing, which I don't think it is, but if we do, I think now that we see how good this deep fake is, there's no way they get the guy that
I was so surprised. Like, holy shit.
I don't know though, Joe, because again, I feel as though if Luke had been casted as someone else before being in The Mandalorian season 2, then they would have just gone with that. Because I have to imagine it's cheaper than whatever the fuck technology you're using.
Yeah, but it's Disney. It's Disney. They're not gonna. It's Luke. How do you recast Luke?
No. It might be easier than signing a contract with an actor.
I mean, you can. I mean, people have been screaming Sebastian Stan for forever.
Yeah,
I 1,000% would sign.
I love Sebastian Stan. It's
uncanny.
Money, it is uncanny that Sebastian. How great
that contract might be expensive.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, I don't need you to get someone that looks exactly like them. Like, that's so hard to do. Sebastian Stan is probably 1 in a million of people that actually looks exactly like someone he could be playing. So to me, I just figure if you're doing a younger Han and you plan on doing anything with Donald Glover's, Lando.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just go back to the whole?
The only reason why I think fans, and it's just the way Favreau and Filoni have been basically showing how they like to, not fan service, because fan service nowadays, people make fan service sound bad, but it's not.
Right.
To have Luke, because we never got it. Remember, we never got it. To have Luke on camera on the screen with Han Solo one last time, there's no way it's not Harrison Ford. It's just it's going to look weird to me, at least to me. I might be just the only one here that says that.
Especially
it would look weird
looking as good as he looks.
Yeah. Now, if it looked like shit, I'd be like, all right, no. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just from a nostalgic point of view, but also just it makes sense. If we're going to get the Luke that we know, it makes sense that we get the Han that looks like Han when Luke and Han knew each other. That's it.
That's fair. I'm just saying I'm fine either way. You go with that guy. I love Solo, so you go with that guy.
Now, what do you do with Billy D. Williams now? There you go.
Well, then that makes it even harder, because it's like if you're trying to do younger, why wouldn't you just use Donald Glover? That's what I'm saying. So it's like you put yourself in a tough spot, because then how do you tell?
But can you imagine that though? But how do you tell Billy, like, so you get Harrison Ford's lookalike, right? Likeness. You got Mark Hamill's likeness, and then Billy's like, all right, I'm next. Like, no. Sorry, Billy. Sorry, Billy. We got somebody else, which I don't mind. I don't mind Donald Glover. I'm not saying that, but it would be weird for Billy D. Williams to not get that call. That's all.
Fair. Oh, excuse me. All right. There's a few more, and then Joel, I'm passing it over to you. Let's see. Maybe oh wait. Okay. Sorry. Mr. E says Luke's CGI face is a lot better for sure.
Oh yeah.
I was confused by Bane in this timeline, so I read Bane was captured or killed by Kenobi. So no, he wasn't. Wherever you read that wasn't true. Dave Filoni had written up an episode where Boba Fett killed Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
But they never aired it. Yeah, they never aired it. They trashed it. So no.
How good did he look though? This is the first time I'm seeing his character, but I obviously seen what he looks like.
Yeah,
because I never.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, But I've seen what he looks like. No, but I've seen what he looks like cartoon wise, like animation. I've seen
That's what I'm
like
saying.
pictures of
That's
him
what,
as a
Been
reference.
a little
But
cleaner.
how'd you know the
I
silhouette?
thought he was gonna be a little bit more blue. I
Well,
thought he was gonna
yeah,
be a
just-
little bit more blue though.
I
But it was
didn't
fine.
like, and
It was
again, they're
fine.
gonna fix it the next time, not the next episode, but the next time we see Cad Bane. Again, the just bulky up here, but the actual and his hands were too fucking big. It looked like a Disney costume. Like when he was holding his blaster, his hands were like fucking huge. But again, that's nitpicking because I just fucking love Cad Bane.
They always do that though. They updated. They even updated
That's
the
what
way
I'm
Luke,
saying.
the way
That's
the,
what I'm
that
saying.
way,
It'll
yeah,
get better.
Luke did too.
And
And
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, right? Didn't they fix
Yeah.
Ahsoka's?
They were short. They're shorter in live
Yeah.
action, no longer. Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, no, it grows longer the older she gets. So in Rebels, it was a little longer than when
But
she was.
she's older now and she's shorter.
It's shorter.
That's
than
the
it is.
problem.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, I got you. I thought you were saying that. Okay, I get you. So yes, I just had a few issues with his look, but they got the teeth. That is what I was really excited about. They got the eyes. That's what I was.
That's what I was like.
And I will say this: when he spoke, I fucking lost my mind. I'm like, fuck, he sounds just like Cad. It's like they took the voice actor.
Did they?
Did
they?
I did.
I thought they did.
I didn't see that.
No, I don't know.
I
I don't
think
know
they
who it
did.
is, so I can't say definitively. But it just
No,
seems.
I'm
heard
saying I
that
didn't
they
read the
did.
credits. I didn't read the credits. I at that point I had rewinded it to watch it again.
And when I say, because remember, I don't have a reference though. When I say that I felt like he looked amazing, not because, like, I'll go like the Marvel route, like he was comic book accurate, but like he didn't look like as a character of that species or whatever he is. It looked okay. It looked believable. It didn't look fake. Is all I meant.
Right.
Now, what makes Cad Bane so special for the people who don't know Cad Bane is when Cad Bane was becoming a bounty hunter. The side pieces that you see connected to his face, a lot of people are like, oh, that's so he could breathe. That's not so he could breathe. Cad Bane had something placed in his throat that prevents him from being force choked by any Jedi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So Jedi can't force choke Cad Bane because of what he had put in his throat, and that holds it. That holds it in. So he's never been force choked. And even in Trayvon, you'll get to this, so it's not really a spoiler at all because you still don't know the context. But they've even tried, the strongest of Jedi have tried force, like using the force on Cad Bane, like mind wise. It didn't work. It took a lot to get it to work. He does not have a weak mind whatsoever.
I thought that was a breathing apparatus. I would never have known.
Yeah, that's to hold this here, the thing in this throat.
That's good. That's really cool.
But yeah, seeing Cad Bane, and Joel knows this because we talked about this for Bad Batch. I cried seeing him in Bad Batch because I just didn't expect it. Like when the episode happened, I'm just like, wait, what? Like, what? So for this, because obviously I've been talking about this for fucking forever now, it was just a matter of, will it actually happen? So as you said, seeing the silhouette, I know exactly who it was, and I screamed so fucking loud. Because it's just like, God damn, Dave, man. Like, so I swear to God, anyone Dave creates, it's that's why I said it's important to watch the cartoons, because anyone from that cartoon is liable to pop up any fucking where. And it's new canon. It's new canon. So that's why I'm like, it's very important to get to know these characters. So when you see them, it just fucking hits.
So good.
And that's why I said watching Clone Wars and then hearing Ahsoka tell Mando, I'm a friend of the family. It's like, oh my fucking God. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You know what I'm saying? And then when she's talking to Luke and they just sound so friendly with each other. Yeah. And then she drops the line of, you sound just like your father. And Luke just kind of gives her that look. Oh my God. I need Luke in season 1 of Ahsoka. I need that fire story time. Go ahead, Trevor.
Indication that they've had like talks already, because he didn't like shot when she said it at all. It was just like a
I don't know.
Like, whatever.
I think she probably gave him the broad strokes. Because if you're meeting him for the first time, he already knows how horrible his father turned out to be. But that might have been something that, depending on whatever the circumstances were when they met, maybe they They didn't fully go.
I want to see that. Like I want.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see a campfire where she's talking to him. Look, I even want Trayvon. I went crazy when I saw these two standing together because I'm like, I now even want when they swap stories, the fucking Force Ghost of Anakin pops up. You know what I'm saying? I want the fucking whole ship.
Where is that Force Ghost? Like, how come we haven't seen that yet?
It wanes. It doesn't usually just pop up randomly. It's
well, you don't want that. If you're on the bowl, you don't want a Force Ghost to pop up. You know?
Why not? You know, if I'm thinking about you, shit.
Come on, man. Don't you knock?
I don't feel the need to be judged. But no, I loved everything about this man. I cried so fucking hard. It's just so frustrating seeing how fucking dope Luke is. You know what I'm saying? It's why I'm just yearning to see as much Luke as possible. That's why I'm like, I don't give a fuck where you put Luke. Just throw him in some shit so we can get all the goodness of Luke.
Well, yeah, you're not going to see him in the Acolyte, though. Can't put him in the Acolyte. You can't put him in the Acolyte.
I don't give a fuck.
Put any of these things in the Acolyte.
I don't care. Put him in there. But no, I just seeing. Would you say, Joel?
He's not born yet.
I don't care. Switch up canon. I don't give a fuck. But seeing Luke, seeing Ahsoka, I even teared up a little bit when Grogu started to be able to force jump. Or you was just like, oh, this shit's pretty dope.
What about when he force crushed the probe droid? I mean, the probe. I
did enjoy that. I did enjoy that a lot. See, what's very interesting about Grogu and what I'm loving about the character is, and that's why I love when Luke said it. Luke is like, when Ahsoka's saying he's picking up quickly, and Luke is like, I think he's more so remembering than he is being taught because he was taught all of this before. So it's more so it's the muscle memory. Because it's the confusing question of how much of Grogu's life did he legit forget, or did he force himself to not remember? Yeah. Because it was literally the worst time of his life, watching everyone he knew and loved die. So again, I do believe he will go back to Din. I also do believe that Luke will feel as though, because here's the funny part. In the comics, Yoda's lightsaber was destroyed. So Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau retconned that because that was one of the big things of the Empire. They were showing off destroying all these lightsabers, and Yoda's was the last one. So I'm like, I now kind of feel like, well, who else do you think would be small enough to give this fucking thing to? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I kind of feel like Luke understands his heart is not in being a Jedi anymore, right? He doesn't want that. He just wants to be back with Din. So I kind of feel like Luke will feel the need to keep him safe, so he'll give him the lightsaber. And then, you know, he'll say something like, you know, whenever he doesn't understand something, you can come find me and I'll help. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of feel like if you're Luke, you just send him back, you teach him some of the ways of the Force, and then it's just like, well, you didn't want to stay, so fuck it, fuck everything, go back.
Giving them a choice, you know. That's
no, I know, but I kind of just feel like you showing that and introducing it is because you will give it to him. He will have that lightsaber. And by the way, if you're Disney, do you know how many fucking toys you sell giving Grogu a lightsaber? Are you serious? You want to miss out on that? I don't see that shit at all. That's why I said I see more so Luke telling Grogu, just trust in the Force, and when he closes his eyes, both the things rise, and Luke sees he's torn. So the best thing to do is to allow him to walk both walks of life, to help him whenever he needs it, guide him in the Force whenever he needs it, but to allow him to be his own man. Which is why I love when Ahsoka is just like, you can't force it on him. Just trust in the Force. The Force will always guide you. And Luke always struggled with that. Trust in the Force here, but his daddy also struggled with that shit. But no, like I said, I loved everything about this man. And look, we've gotten everything I thought we wouldn't get, so I'm holding out. We got Cad Bane, clearly, right? Awesome. Teaming up with the Pikes. The Pikes obviously hired him. My fingers are crossed. It's a very long shot. My fingers are crossed that Kiara is behind this, is behind the Pikes, right? Mm-hmm. And if she is rolling with Darth Talon. That is my hope. We get Darth Talon Ahsoka and Luke see that there is a Sith out there, and Talon then joins with Admiral Thrawn. Right? So then when we build up to Admiral Thrawn and we get that movie that we all think will get the Avengers style Star Wars movie, we have a Sith, we have Thrawn, and we have Luke and Ahsoka, and obviously Sabine, Ezra, Mando, maybe Boba, Grogu, absolutely, Grogu. So to me,
I'm just
no, Joel, we can't say that anymore, man.
Sure.
They didn't put that BD droid in there just to have a laugh. They put that BD droid in there to let you know how connected everything Star Wars is.
He's my fave.
Right?
That's my fave.
Because again, we've never seen a BD droid till that fucking game.
That's right.
So they're letting you know everything's connected. And Cal Kestis would only be in his 40s right now. So it's not like he's 60, 70, 80 years old. He just be in his 40s.
Just age him up.
That's beard, it. You're the same actor, because you don't have to change anything about the actual actor to be Cal Kestis.
Right.
So I'm like,
some facial hair, baby. Man.
That's it.
Right. Even though Jedi rarely do that. Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of the rare ones. Jedi usually
Luke did.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Luke.
I'm sorry. I never count these 3 movies, but yes, you are right. You are right. In my mind, I always forget Luke existed in those 3 movies. Let's see what else we got before we move on. I want to welcome in Patches. What's up, Patches?
What's going on, guys? How you been? Sorry for the late arrival. I just got done watching the episode, and yeah. So like, I am like,
it's fresh.
Oh yeah, very fresh. I told KJ that like I had to like control my breathing because it started when I saw R2 and I was like, nuh-uh. And then, I was like, all right, cool. And then Ahsoka showed up. I was like, it was just like, oh my, yeah. So I'm running high right now, Mando season 3 is, in full effect and I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is insane now in this household.
I want to ask you this because I'm going to pass it to Joel before I go to you, but I want to ask you this before I pass it to Joel. How much better is it watching that interaction with those characters in Ahsoka and Cad Bane, having all the Clone Wars knowledge that you have? Like, how much richer is it to see them interacting?
Yeah, infinitely better, because like when the Banta made that noise and you saw the figure in the distance, I was like, oh shit, that's a cowboy hat. Timothy Oliphant is dead. That's the first thing I said to KJ. Oh yeah, he's not dead.
I was thinking the same thing though. I was like, oh, he's dead.
I did too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, Deputy, he's dead. But but that was the first thing I told KJ. I was just like, he's dead. Because that's Cad Bane.
What an honorable way to die, though.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
When you get to Star Wars heaven, and everyone is just like, we're here because of Anakin and Vader. And it's like, how'd you get here? Cad Bane. And it's like, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, that guy.
It's like, all right, yeah, we know him. But to your point, Joe, as I pass it to you, Joel, to your point, Cad Bane at this point in Star Wars lore, knowing him is just as shaky as knowing Boba. Because again, Cad Bane's whole prime was the Clone Wars.
Okay. Right?
So a lot of his missions aren't like something you'd hear about a lot. He's very, very quick and efficient. He gets in, kills, gets out. So it makes a whole lot of sense that when he saw him, he's just like, I don't know who the fuck you are. And I love that Cad Bane never introduced himself.
Never said who he was. Yeah.
Cad Bane thing to do. That is the most Cad Bane thing I've ever seen. The only thing that was missing, if I'm nitpicking, because you know how much I love Cad Bane, is that there wasn't a female there for him to say, hello, little lady. Whenever Cad Bane says that shit, a body is dropping. That is for goddamn sure. He did it in Bad Batch. He did it in Clone Wars. Anytime he saw Ahsoka, somebody was bound to die. But I love this so much. And I love that a lot of our theories of Cad Bane came true. You know what I'm saying? Because for a lot of us, it was always like, well, Boba is the good guy. And there's just no fucking way the Pikes are smart enough to be behind all this. So they're clearly not the big bad. who would you bring in to kind of go up against Boba to where you're like, this is great? Who better than the guy Filoni wrote up that killed Cad Bane? You know what I'm saying? The dent in Boba's helmet is from Cad Bane. Cad Bane's patch is because of Boba. So I'm like, this is perfect. Those two seeing each other again, where he goes, no fucking way. Like, I can't wait for that. Joel,
Does he make it out of this series?
who? Cad Bane?
Yeah.
Better.
I think, look, I hope that they don't follow Marvel. Cad Bane is just too big of a character for you to just like, all right, in all the craziness of this big battle, he just died. Like,
We just got him in live action. You can't just take him away.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. But I thought maybe if seeing each other, Boba Bessa.
When
And
does
look-
the Bad Batch happen?
wait, say it again.
When is the Bad Batch? Like what?
Bad
where
Batch is right after Clone Wars.
Right,
It's
right after.
Avengers.
Right after. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's like right. Yeah, basically.
So
Yeah, it
before
happens
the-
as Order
It's
66
after the
happens.
Revenge
Yeah.
of the Sith.
So when you finish the last season of Clone Wars,
Mhm.
and then you go to watch Bad Batch, it's literally right after that. Oh,
Yeah,
no, I'm
okay.
sorry.
Well,
Bad Batch
Yeah,
starts
no, it's
in the
during.
middle of Order 66, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
During
yeah. The
Order.
first episode of Bad Batch
Oh my
is
God!
Order
There's just some
66. Yeah.
spoilers in there. Pay attention.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Wait, what's some spoilers? What?
We're not going to tell you what the spoilers are. Just watch
Yeah,
What am I
keep
paying
watching,
attention?
man.
If you watch the first episode of Bad Batch, just pay attention. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, to me, no, don't kill off Cad Bane. If anything, you should be thinking of ways to give us a bounty hunter show. You know what I'm saying? Give
I'd
me a
watch
bounty
that.
hunter show
I'll
led by
watch it.
Cad Bane.
Oh yeah.
Because again,
Isn't
look,
that what Mando is?
no, because Mando is leading into a life of possibly becoming the leader of Mandalore. So he's
Possibly.
kind of getting out of that.
Mhm.
Bounty hunting might be a secondary thing for
Mhm.
him. But Cad Bane, where he's taking out like actual like officials and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Crime bosses and whatnot, that's super dope. But Joel,
Yes.
you having all the knowledge of Clone Wars, Bad Batch, Rebels, how beautiful was the right? How beautiful was it to see all of Filoni's babies come to life?
Oh my God! It was orgasmic. I think I
Perfect
put
word.
it best as soon as the episode started, you got Cobb Vanth. I'm like, oh, cool. I didn't expect that. All right, cool. You start with a little appetizer. Great. Not expecting a full course appetizer though. Like right from the beginning, you go right into it, and then like Mando's back already. Like right back, you see him going to this this planet that's not Tatooine, and you're like, all right, so they
I
might
think
actually show them, huh?
Really quickly, Joel, we were talking about this before you popped in. I think, not definitively saying, I think it's Endor.
Possible.
I think
mean,
they're on Endor.
I wish they
I
labeled
tried-
it on the planet.
I tried comparing the shot of the exterior when Mando's flying over it to a picture of Titan. It sort of was similar, but I don't. It's really not known where he
I
is.
wish they would say so, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's just it's a tree inhabited
You
life.
won't be held to it.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of
It's
green.
not a desert planet.
Yeah.
but- So they go there, and I kind of figured that's exactly the kind of place they would go for their Jedi temple. So it looks kind of exactly what I imagined. So when Mando gets there and he shows up and you see R2D2, you're like, oh my God, we got R2D2 to start this. I'm like, okay, so we might actually get this. And then he gets there and no one's there. I'm like, oh, are they gonna fuck with us? Are they gonna swerve me? And like, I was like, whatever. Okay. And then they start making him a bench. That was funny. And then he wakes up and Ahsoka's there. I'm like, I was definitely not expecting Ahsoka to show up.
No.
Not at
You're
all.
just throwing up like good shit at me. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So they start talking, and then like, oh, and then they go back and forth, and like, basically what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, like, you're not supposed to visit him because of the connection. They're supposed to avoid connections with him and Grogu, but I just want to give him this and blah 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 blah, blah whatever. And then he does the right thing. He gives it to Ahsoka, and Ahsoka, gives it to Luke. Eventually, then we see Luke and Grogu. I'm like, I was definitely not expecting that, especially not in this episode. Like everyone else, I thought they'd do it off screen, and then we'd see it later on in the next Mandalorian. No, right into it. And the best thing about it was Luke looks fucking phenomenal. Like comparing him to last season's Luke,
yes.
that's night and day. Like I could barely tell the difference. Like I mean, it's insane how
So
good
good.
he looks, and it's the fact that it's probably the same dude that did the mocap last year, which was he was actually one of the fighter pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the last
on
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, bro, they pulled it off. They pulled off Luke in a way that I never thought I'd see again. You know what I mean? Like it's just like that part of me he's dead, basically, right? Young Luke. I never thought I'd see young Luke again. And so like we got a very little bit of him in the last season of Mandalorian, but obviously there was some type of wasn't perfect. But man, did he look good, and they nailed it. And then you got him getting trained, and more Mando, and and then we finally get back to Boba, even though it was very little Boba in this episode, but it was more than the last episode. But man, it was just like, and then of course the cherry on top. Fucking, and everyone says it. The silhouette. You knew exactly who. If you know Star Wars, you know exactly who that was coming down that road. And you're like, oh my god, they're gonna do it. And I love the dramatic effect of it. Not right away. Eventually, it shows up, picks the Cad Bane. That was as close to perfect Star Wars television I've probably ever seen. I mean,
anything.
Star Wars, anything. Yeah, I was saying like that's like the closest thing to you get to
Easy.
injecting Star Wars into your veins.
Yeah,
ever.
100. It was honestly, it was probably the most euphoric accuracy wise I've ever felt. Outside of Infinity War, because I remember watching Infinity War just like, this is fucking bananas. Like you only dream of seeing shit like this, right? Where literally everyone is together, right? So then when you watch Star Wars, especially growing up on Clone Wars and Filoni being what kind of really exploded Star Wars in that huge ass gap between Revenge of the Sith and anything else really Star Wars. So when you remember watching all that and the feelings and the emotions and the lore and the knowledge, Mandalorians were made popular because of Dave Filoni and Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Right.
So when you go through all that, you're just like, okay, you're watching Ahsoka, and I'll never forget my stepdad always messing with me, telling me, "Oh, don't get too attached to Ahsoka. She's gonna die." And I'm like, "Why would you say that?" And he's like, "Because she wasn't in Revenge of the Sith." And I used to always watching it go, shit, she's not in Revenge of the Sith. like he really had me going through like PT. Like I'm like, no, she can't die.
It wasn't a bad guess, but at the time, they didn't figure out what they're gonna do with her yet.
Exactly. He figured it out, because again, remember, Filoni says all the time they kept pushing back against using Ahsoka, especially making her as big as she is.
Right.
So again, going through that lore and then seeing it come to life is just like, this is what Star Wars was always meant to be, right? To where it just speaks to so many different demographics.
So and this is probably of everything, Clone Wars, Bad Batch, Mando, now Boba, now I mean even Rogue One, Solo, everything else, and the most current 3 movies. This is probably the best multi-generational crossover that they have ever done in the Lucasverse, right?
Yep.
I mean, like hands down, because it brought in the old, it brought in the past, it brought in the new. Everything is current, and everything. I mean, like everything's rocking now. And once again, it's Filoni and Favreau. And don't get me wrong, like I damn near wet myself when I saw R2 like in the opening scene, right?
Yeah.
But then it was just like, oh shit, it's another Mando episode. And then it was just like, oh, well, it's a little more than that, because obviously, Timothy Olyphant opening the episode was amazing. I was just like, what? But yeah, but no, like, I mean, but it was a great crossover because, Juwan, like Clone Wars, and, Joel, you too, and Joe, I mean, you guys grew up on this stuff, right? You know, I was the original 3 movies, and I mean the original 3 movies. So, like having everything kind of come full circle in this in one episode. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I told Joel. Joel always makes fun of me about this. But I told him Star Wars is what raised me. You know what I'm saying? Not really having. I've always been more so, as Joel knows today, in the house, right? Not really wanting to explore much, go out much, whatever. So my mom bought me the original trilogy. Shut up, Joel. So I would just religiously watch Luke Skywalker. He meant everything to me between Luke Skywalker and Batman. So that's why I said
Power Rangers?
No, I did grow up on Power Rangers. They never really Power Rangers never really kind of grabs you from an emotional standpoint, really. It's just like, oh, the colors, that's cool. Right. I remember how Luke was my hero, right? Luke and Batman were my hero. So seeing, don't do that, Joe. But seeing, like I said, seeing Luke in The Last Jedi just always hurt me because of how I always depicted Luke of being. He was your pillar of hope. And now you're stripping away that hope that he meant to so many people. So seeing Filoni bring Luke back and him being in the true essence of hope and light, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's fucking Luke Skywalker. That's Luke Skywalker. You know?
Yeah, the other guy, that was Ryan Johnson's Luke Skywalker.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's why I tell you, I try to forget that even happened.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it had a place, and even in, I mean, it had its place because it was a good little swerve, a little bit, just to get Rey, I get that. But at least J.J. Abrams, made up for it. And in The Rise of Skywalker was like, Luke said, I was wrong. That was my bad. I was wrong. Yeah. So at least at the end of the saga, we had him going, nope, I was dumb. That was my bad. Boom.
Yeah, I took that more so as JJ going, look, I was wrong for not just directing all 3 of these motherfuckers.
Word.
Not having a clear view of what they
Jawan.
Right.
I have a comment. Okay, good. Okay, you're good.
No, I just wanted to quickly say, Corey Burton actually did voice Cad Bane. He's the original voice.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay,
the actor wasn't, because it just says voice, so they probably got somebody else to stand in.
Oh no, that's what I thought. That's
his voice. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. What were you saying, Trayvon?
Please don't nobody attack me for this.
Oh, I'm
attacking the clones.
For this.
Well, let me get my steak. Hold on.
Don't yell at me again, Joel. So look. So for me, when I watch that movie and I see Luke the way he is, I just the amount of stuff he went through, I felt like he was just jaded and older and tired. Like I didn't see nothing wrong with the way he acted. To me, I was like, I get you guys want to be hopeful, but I was like, who wouldn't be hopeful after all of that?
Let me start out like that.
Let me defend you, Trayvon. You ready for me to defend you? Because you thought I was going to attack you. Let me defend you. You ready? I understand you thinking that, right? Because again, Luke and that connection to you is not the connection that I had with Luke, right? So I get that. I never fault anyone who's like, I was fine with what they did with Luke. That's cool. You can be okay with that. To me, I don't know who the fuck I was watching in that movie. That's, to me, it's not Luke.
The problem, though, the problem is with that, and I don't know why we're talking about The Last Jedi, is start out that way. Sure, of course. You're older. You're cranky, right?
Yeah.
You're broken down. I mean, your nephew turned on you. You know, you tried to, you failed your sister and your brother-in-law, right? Basically.
All your students too, right?
And whatever.
Yeah.
However,
arguably the coolest dude in the entire galaxy.
However, when they needed him the most, and his sister specifically needed him, is when he continued to shy away. Now, if he would have changed his mind and he would have ended up either helping her or even going with her on the expedition that was needed, then I would have been okay with it.
Because to me, what made no sense was you're telling me the guy who found out his father was out here murking galaxies.
Yeah.
He felt the need to step in for that. But your nephew turns to the dark side and you just go, you know what?
The nephew's having dark dreams, not even turning the dark side at that point.
Right,
He's just
right.
dark
He's
dreams.
being seduced. Right. He's being seduced by, I have to give up. I can't do this thing.
Maybe he's like, I don't want to do this shit again.
Come on. That's your job, Trayvon. Like,
No
that's
shit.
like a cop going. That's like a cop
every-
walking into a shootout and going, "Oh shit, I can't do this."
That's your
Hey,
sister's son.
Everybody can be a Roger Murtaugh every once in a while and say, I'm too old for this shit. All right.
Yes.
That's your
Yeah,
sister's
it's
son,
fine.
right?
Yes, but here's the difference. Every time he said that, they kept making more lethal weapons. Why? It's his job. So I'm saying
True.
you can think that I'm too old for this, but you don't actually go, no, I'm retired. I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
I wanted to say really, but that's his sister's son. If there's anybody you want to help, it's your sister. You tried to bang her.
Hey,
Word.
he did not try to bang her. He
Good
didn't know
point.
his sister, to be fair.
All he did was kiss her, and that was it.
No,
Oh,
but
God.
it stopped. It only stopped because he found out it was his sister. He wanted more from that, obviously. I'm not saying he was trying to bang his sister,
Well, if you don't know,
but he technically was trying to bang his sister.
I mean, let's think about like an empire. He's like,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
just
come
got-
on.
That's
I mean,
also bragging to Han, to be fair.
Just got a
Well,
peck on the lips, guys.
Come on,
I'm
man.
feeling good.
He's like, I
Like,
got
did
something you didn't, bitch.
Wait,
yeah, he
this
got
is
a
how
pick on the
weird-
lips in A New Hope, and then he made out with her in Empire. I mean,
Oh yeah, Empire.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Picture
no, they
how
made
weird
that.
that conversation is, where Luke is bragging to Han, and then he finds out that's his sister, and Han's just
Yeah.
like, What were you bragging about again? You kissed who? Yeah, all right, you little nasty thing.
He's like, we're adults now. We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about that, Han. But I want
Yeah,
to go.
we bury those feelings deep down.
I'm not allowed to connect with anyone anymore.
Listener Jim says, I wasn't familiar with Cad Bane, but I've not finished the Clone Wars. Actually, listener Jim, Cad Bane is in the first and second season. So you get Cad Bane relatively early. So if you just mean you haven't seen all of Cad Bane for Clone Wars, then I understand. But Cad Bane's super early. They go right off the bat with Cad Bane. So you get him relatively early. They don't wait too long. Welcoming in Michelle. What's up, Michelle? I am finishing up on episode 6 right now. Oh my goodness. Finish it up and then come right back in.
Oh yeah. Spoilers.
KJ says, I can't put words together after this episode. I'm with you. At 3 a.m. I didn't go to sleep. I watched it at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I kept saying to myself, I'm dreaming. No way I just saw all of this. No way.
Well, and dude, I'm going to tell you, I had 2 cats on my lap, which is usually the opposite. She has the cats on her lap. Well, in this episode, like the way it started out, Timothy Oliphant, right? Just like, like smoking the pipe guys. And then like her and I both were like, and then it just started rolling. I can't tell you how many times the cats jumped down off my lap and got back up. I mean, like I think KJ and I maybe missed a quarter of the whole episode because we're like looking at each other like, what?
Yeah, I had to
like,
watch it again. I had to watch it again for the dialogue because I was screaming so much. When Ahsoka popped out, I just screamed for like 30 minutes.
That was exactly us too. It's like, like R2, like when you saw R2, you're like, like at least that planted the seed. You're like, well, R2 is always with Luke, right?
Yep.
And you're like, no, that's not, I was like, all right, but okay, like, all right, you get that. And then all of a sudden, poof, here comes Ahsoka. Like we almost jumped across the family room, dude. We're like, what?
And like, because I love that so much when you saw Ahsoka and R2 kind of just like, sharing that friendly moment. I have to imagine that when Ahsoka first met Luke, like R2 was going bananas. And Luke was just like, who the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
And like R2 is just like, essentially like, okay, don't be upset. I loved her way before I ever met you. but that's my best friend. Like,
right.
I went through everything with Ahsoka. Like, I've seen things no droid should ever have to see.
Look, don't be upset.
Anakin murder people.
I was about to say that. Dude, don't upset. I may have seen your dad kill a lot of people.
I saw your dad.
Right.
Just never told you.
Right. Your dad killed kids. I'm putting it out there. Someone needs to tell you.
What I want to know, because obviously, like Luke and Ahsoka have, like in that short amount of time have, like talked and built a rapport and whatnot. So I want to know what has Ahsoka told Luke about Anakin.
We talked about it, and we were saying we think probably nothing, or not much, rather.
Like I knew your dad.
Right. I think it's best if you save that for Ahsoka series. Where maybe she calls on Luke to help. And then it's just a campfire. Because look, me and Joel have been asking for one simple thing. Cad Bane is something I never thought we'd get. We got it. But me and Joel have been consistently asking for Rex. So if we ever get Rex, seeing Rex, Ahsoka, R2, and Luke just swapping war stories about Anakin, bro, I'll be crying I'll never know what they're talking about. I'll be crying.
What war stories can Luke swap about Anakin? He's
they're telling him
to fight my dad.
He can tell.
They're telling him about him. Yeah,
he can tell Ahsoka he died a hero. Because remember, all Ahsoka knew is that he turned to the dark side.
Right. She
never knew that he died a hero. So there's so much Luke could tell him, like, yo, he cut my hand off. That's some crazy shit, right? Did he ever do that to you guys? No, only me? That's fucking crazy.
That's when his Force Ghost. That's when his Force Ghost pops up. He's like, guys, I wasn't that bad. Come on,
relax. Relax.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to kill all of you and y'all escaped. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I really wasn't that bad.
No, because it'd be funny because technically Ahsoka can go, well, he did kill me. He did kill me, so I have died before, but I'm back. It's cool. It's whatever. I forgave him. It's cool.
Yeah.
But no, I do want to see them swapping war stories and memories of Anakin. Before we move on, listener Jim asked, who would win, Cad Bane or Luke? Luke would easily win. I mean, easily. Luke right now, no, because Luke is not the Master Jedi. He will be. Luke is still very much fresh into being a full-on most powerful Jedi in the galaxy.
Well, the only Master Jedi.
Well, no, we now know he's not. Technically, Ahsoka is a Master Jedi.
Well, no, Ahsoka's not a Jedi. She's what they would call a fallen Jedi, right?
Yes, technically, yeah. But
so who would anoint
rank-wise? She is the Master.
Who would anoint Luke Master Jedi?
Well,
no,
I guess
really. Luke self-anoints him.
Yeah, I guess he was the last one to train with Yoda, so he wins.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Force Ghost Yoda probably for.
Force Ghost Yoda pops up and goes, "Hey, I've been watching you. Don't make this weird, but you're now a Master Jedi. You're welcome." He just disappeared. And it's like, what was that? Like,
well, no. Actually, no. A Jedi. I mean, that was stated in the original movies was, you have to confront your father, then a Jedi will you be. So he is a Master Jedi now.
Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if you thought Luke in season 2 of The Mandalorian was the apex of Luke, that is not the apex of Luke. Luke's apex is fucking phenomenal. Luke becomes so powerful. The only thing that could equate it Jedi-wise is what Anakin would have become had he not had his limbs torn off. Anakin would have been the strongest Force wielder ever had he not been chopped into pieces.
2 questions on that, though. One, how old is Luke at this point? Because how many years removed from Return of the Jedi are we at this point?
5, right?
5
years.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. So that, and then when are we going to see him reach that? Or do you think we ever will in live action?
I think we will.
Unless Sebastian Stan plays him, we're never going to see that.
Why
at
not?
least in the episodes.
Why?
Wait, you mean reaching? Wait, hold on. 1 second. You mean reaching his power levels?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, I believe Luke's going to be crucial in the Battle of Thrawn. Because here's the thing. They mentioned, because again, this was a book, and this is one of my favorite Star Wars books, but they had cloned Luke. They had actually perfected cloning Luke. And it was essentially Luke trying to find his clone and kill it. So I'm like, there's routes they could go where we could see more Luke. Because technically we don't have any Sith right now. So I'm like, there are ways, but I do think Luke will be crucial in the Battle of Thrawn.
Yeah, because I don't think we're getting into any clone saga territory with Star Wars. You know what I mean?
We might.
Oh
We
man,
might.
We will in 30 years when
I still want to know why you don't think we Patches. Why do you think we won't get it? Well, with the technology that they used on Hammer.
It was so much better, yes,
Yeah.
but like Joe was saying, from season 2 of Mando to now, infinitely better. I only saw one like major flaw, like in like the
Right.
sync up,
Yeah.
but I mean, infinitely better. But to do everything you need to do for Luke to achieve his powers, to make that translate, at least in today's technology, to translate into live action, you need to have an actual person being able to make those moves. You can't CGI that. You can't force that. That's why I was saying, like that's why Seb needs to, like they just need to make Seb Luke. Right.
Well, I 100%
that
agree.
Just needs to happen.
There's no way Disney is shelling out that much money for an 8-episode series. No fucking way. There's just no way. It makes no sense.
You have to have a you have to have a live action Luke for for him to reach the pinnacle of that story arc of his power and everything else. You can't CGI. At least I don't think you can. Now, granted, hell, in today. Yeah, so, in a year's time, look how good everything got.
Sebastian Stan.
To Patch's point, that worked for
30-minute window
in an episode. But when the whole series is about you and it's 8 episodes, logically you would just see if you can get Sebastian, and if you can't,
I don't see the point anymore. If you
or
can do
even
it did today, I don't.
Yeah, just get a good stunt double. All you need, it doesn't matter who you put under it.
Right.
We're saying
got the body type,
if you're using him this sporadically, then yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, but even if they're in like 3 seasons, like 3 episodes of a season, say the Ahsoka series. Say if Luke's in 3, like say hypothetically 3 consecutive episodes, right?
Okay, yeah.
So you can't. I mean, I don't think it would stand long enough, and you'd like after a while you'd be like you're gonna just pick out flaws. But 2, and I think most importantly, I think it would be too expensive.
I agree.
For them to
I don't know the fucking numbers, but technology gets better every year, and that just means
I know it's Disney, but and technology is getting better and better, and like God only knows how much he spent on this episode, to have Luke and Grogu and like all that stuff. Hell, even that the whole which I loved, by the way, like him putting Grogu in a backpack, a la Empire style, right? That was absolutely amazing. It's still, like how much money, like there's still cost prohibitiveness, right? And
100%.
none of us have it in front of us, but I don't know why, and I might be wrong in this. I probably am. I feel like this, even though it looks better, I feel like the technology was cheaper than what they were using originally. No, because of where it originated from. Wasn't it originated from a YouTuber?
I get what you're saying, Joe. I 100% get what you're saying. And again, you could be 1,000% right. I'm just saying it's something that Filoni and the people in Star Wars have expressed they wanted to do at some point, and it's something that Sebastian and Mark have expressed they wanted to do at some point.
Right. Yes. No. Definitely.
Ideally, it's like, well, why wouldn't you do that? Like, this is cool for these small sporadic moments.
But how much do you have to pay? But the thing is, how much now, again, without having the numbers in front of us, as far as the technology goes, how much you have to pay an actor like Sebastian Stan for those 3 episodes? Again,
last time I checked, I've never heard Academy Award winning Sebastian Stan. The man hasn't even
still the Winter Soldier.
I'm telling you right now, he costs a lot more money than the guy that they got now.
Yeah.
Oh yes, for sure. But does he cost? Does he cost Mahershala Ali money? No.
No, who you're paying is Mark Hamill for his likeness. That's probably where the money's going.
Yeah, true. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even think Sebastian Stan costs you more than Kit Harington. So I'm like, no, I don't think he's like, oh man,
I'm kind of short, man.
Huh?
He is the Winter Soldier. Like, let's not.
It's not like he's nothing. I believe I saw a series that was led by Captain America, not Bucky.
Well, it did have both their names.
Yeah,
in
it
it,
had
too.
both their
It
names.
did. Yeah.
Again, it was about Captain America, though.
I
It's
mean,
supposed
I,
to
I
Captain
was a fan
America,
of
though.
I was a fan of the Mad Hatter, in Once Upon a Time. So that's just me.
I love
Just
that. I love that. Listener Jim, I always tell people that I never suggest doing essential episodes of Clone Wars, because that's essentially Disney's formulaic way of just saying this is what we think are the most important episodes. But to me, the feeling that you get for Ahsoka, Rex, Anakin, Maul, all these characters are probably some of the episodes where it's like, because there was one episode where Ahsoka and Anakin was injured. They're just stranded on the planet, helping out the main farmland people learn how to defend themselves. You hear that and you're like,
There's definitely some fillers in there.
right. But you hear that and you go, I don't need to watch that episode. But if you actually watch
Somehow
it,
that's still
it
fun,
shows
too.
you how much closer Anakin and Ahsoka get, how that relationship grows, how Rex's relationship grows. So to me, it's all important. But if you only want to watch the essential episodes, by all means. But I would never suggest that.
Yeah.
I would never suggest that. Because like I said, like Joel said, it's like Dragon Ball Z. There are a lot of fillers in all 7 or 8.
And Rex is who again?
Come on.
What? No, I'm playing.
Seriously?
No.
Okay. I'm
I
like,
thought
hold
he was
on. I'm
Rex.
like, hold on, Patches.
Like, that kind of Rex, or I mean,
He was.
I'd say he's probably more dangerous. I'd say he's probably
Okay.
more dangerous than that.
that's
Rex.
fair. Yeah, he has opposable thumbs.
Would you
Yeah,
like some
cool.
tea, Rex?
Yeah, that was the clone closest to Anakin.
Right. That was his guy.
That was,
Which
right.
is funny because Anakin's squad that you saw in Grogu's Force Vision was the 501. And Rex was the leader of the 501. But Trayvon, you'll get to why Rex is no longer the leader. Of the
Doesn't
501.
Rex fights off Order 66, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Again,
spoilers,
again,
Spoiler.
you'll get to all of that when you actually watch.
No, I did see that episode. I think that's the only episode I watched.
I haven't.
The
I haven't.
difference is
Oh,
Trayvon.
yeah,
is
Trayvon
not.
hasn't watched
No.
it.
Trayvon is not.
I didn't see it. Nothing happened.
He is not.
I'm assuming what
Hey,
happens now based
Trayvon,
on
I
what
don't
your
want to spoil
contact-
everything
He
about
must be
Rex,
dead.
but
Must be
yeah,
dead.
I mean, I don't want to spoil everything, but
Time out.
everybody dies.
He must be
Everyone
dead.
dies.
But wait,
just,
time out.
just,
To be
it's
fair,
fine.
I got it. I got
fair
it.
though,
The
Joe, let
Jedi
me cut
die
you
at
some
the
slack.
end.
Let me
Ruined.
cut you some slack, Joe. You didn't
Thank you.
spoil anything, mainly because Trayvon, for reasons I still don't know,
He's-
watched
yeah.
Rebels first. So he's
Yeah, it is.
seen Rex. So he clearly
Yeah.
knows Rex
That's
didn't die.
weird. Oh, he knows old Rex.
I want
Yeah, so he knows that Rex didn't die.
That's the Rex. I want.
Vader is Anakin.
Oh,
So Trayvon saw
Do
how
I find out why
the
he picked that
relationship-
name? By the way,
why he
Whoever-
what?
Did they ever tell you why he picked Vader? Like,
He was
Why is
given
that?
it.
He didn't pick Vader. He was given it.
oh, okay,
Palpatine
okay.
gave
I
it, yeah.
didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't know
Palpatine
that.
gave it to
Okay,
him.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Now, if
Right.
your question is why did Palpatine give him that name, I have no idea. It was just Palpatine was just like, this is Lord Vader.
Translates to be Dark Father, right? But he didn't know at that point. Oh, yeah, I guess he did know he was going to be a father.
He 1,000% knew. He even
Yeah,
told him
but-
that his kids died.
Yeah, no, but that's right. But he didn't know that they died.
No, Anakin didn't know that they
No,
died.
Palpatine though. Palpatine wasn't.
No,
Did he?
Palpatine did not know. No, he didn't
Okay.
know. Remember, they had hid the children, so you couldn't
Yeah.
sense them.
Yeah.
Because if you could sense them, Vader would have found them immediately.
Yeah, no, I know.
We wouldn't be here.
And they hid Luke where nobody would look on Tatooine.
Right. And one thing Clone Wars never touched on that I was surprised because George Lucas's movies did is that one of Anakin's powers that he lost when he became Vader was that he could see into the future. And they never really touched on that in Clone Wars. I was surprised.
you
I
think
didn't know
that's
it was
some of the
gonna-
Some
transition going
singed
from
nerve indies.
the light to the dark?
Wait, say it again, Ryan.
Do you think that's some of the transition going from the light to the dark side?
No. I think he just lost it.
You just straight up lost it.
Yeah,
Well,
he
yeah, no,
died.
well,
Amnesia,
Well-
kind of like just forgot about
right.
it.
Yeah, singed nerve endings,
yeah.
But
His brain
I
was-
mean, but that actually doesn't hold water, Ryan, because if you think about Palpatine, he's like, I've foreseen it. I've foreseen
Yeah.
it. I've foreseen,
Right.
like he looks in the future all the time. So
Yeah.
clearly that is a trait of the Sith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Anakin, because remember, Anakin was haunted by that. That's why every time he would tell Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan's like, I don't know what the fuck that is. What is that? Like, why do you have that? That's the weirdest thing. Don't tell anybody. But Ryan, well, yeah, because I'm just imagining Obi-Wan just like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Actually, no, that's not. Wait, what are we talking about? The fact that you can see into the future?
Yeah.
No, that's actually not true. Because it's explained in Phantom. The reason why Anakin's reflexes were so strong, and Qui-Gon says this, is you can see them before they happen, and that's a trait of the Jedi. So that's not just an evil thing. It can't be, because Qui-Gon, or less, we also know Qui-Gon teetered between the two, right? But he never made it seem like it was abnormal that Luke can see into the. That Anakin could see into the future.
But also remember, Qui-Gon ignored a lot of what Anakin's actual future would be because he thought he could change him. So there was a lot about Qui-Gon that he was
even Yoda, when he was saying, Master Yoda, I have these whatever, and he's like, that the future you see. He never told him, well, this guy's a Sith because he's looking into the future. But
also remember, everyone on that Jedi Council, not named Obi-Wan, was very skeptical of Anakin and treated him as such. They believed he was coming into too much power too quickly.
Yes.
And that he just had too many attachments. He just cared about too much shit.
And speaking of what we were just talking about, listener Jim did put up a great comment. Did they ever touch on the fact that, of how Luke could help Grogu see his past memories?
He's just unlocking his brain. So how we know brains work is when you shut something out, that part of your brain just completely blocks it, right? Like you can't.
Is that a Jedi trait? Is that any kind of canon as far as Star Wars goes? And which I think is what he was trying to ask.
Yes, because we know we've seen Jedi tell people to forget. So logically, we could just assume. I assume there's a way you could make them remember. So again, he wasn't projecting anything. He was just unlocking the part of his brain that Grogu just kind of just shut off. So part of me does want Grogu to stay with Luke so we could see a little bit more. I do want to see who rescues him. I think it doesn't matter because if it did, they would have showed it.
Well, you said you thought he saw it from a
I think he was watching it. Yeah, I don't think he was literally standing there because it's like, well, we saw how slow he runs. So
he looks like this is what
looks like he was in.
It looks like he was in that egg
in a bassinet or something like that,
or that egg that he was in when we first see him.
Oh no, I don't think he was in that.
Well, because as the troopers ran towards it, and that was the thing. Like one of two things. Like I think one of two things happens there. Either like this is the first time he ever feels the force, and he's like, "Get the fuck away from me!"
That
and
would be awesome.
Blows them all away as an infant, right? Or someone comes up from behind him because clearly the troopers are running towards him. They make that motion. So either Grogu just like blasts them all off, away from where he was, or someone's behind him and just lays waste to the troopers.
Well, that's the tough part because we know that the only Jedi that survived, we know aren't there. Obi-Wan's gone, Yoda's gone. Clearly Mace is somewhere on a freeway.
Allegedly.
How many Jedi that survived it? So
Mace had 2 robot hands. It's fine.
Bro, I'm still waiting for that day. I'm still waiting for the day that Mace Windu comes back with a scarred eye, 2 robot hands. But again, him dying was his fault. Stop fucking with Anakin. Anyway, Ryan, he was an asshole to Anakin the whole time since he was a kid. It's like, you're a piece of shit. We don't like you. You'll never be one of us. And it's like, what is wrong with you? Like, relax.
Wrong.
No, but Joel, here's the problem. His actions is what drove Anakin to being as angry as he was. So it's like, if maybe you were a little bit nicer, he wouldn't have been so susceptible.
Being so damn gullible is what got him to the side.
No, he wanted acceptance.
I'm with Joel on this one.
Yeah.
He never
come on.
Dude, it's like, I have
old
all
man
the feels
loves
because
I have all
I
It
got
wasn't
all the
as simple
feels,
as
and I'm
that.
good.
I'm
I
sorry.
can't-
Are we forgetting that the council did shit on Anakin almost every meeting?
Well, besides that,
If I can't be a Jedi Master, I'm taking my ball and going home. Man.
he was.
After
know.
fighting the Sith, like, I think
It was a
about
long play of manipulation by Palpatine, who literally used his mother as a puppet
Yes.
and basically made her suffer just to bring him in that direction.
Wait,
No, it's
time out, Joe.
definitely
You ready
more
for
than
this, Joe?
gullibility.
You ready for this, Joe? That they're leaving out?
Yeah, I
The
still
movie
can't get over that
starts.
thing on your head.
I love it. I'm sorry.
I
The
know, but
movie-
it keeps fading.
The movie starts with him killing Dooku, and then he goes before the council, and they go, "Nah, still can't give you Jedi Knight." Bitch, what? No one else here could kill Dooku. I killed him single-handedly, and I still can't sit amongst you.
There's a kid in the back with a mop. Hey kid, you're a Jedi. You're a Jedi Knight. Come here.
Yo, I swear, that's what Mace Windu would have done. He would have said, "Hey, you, what's your name? Bob? Yeah, you're a Jedi Knight.
Broom
Yeah,
boy.
there you go.
Hey,
Fuck
broom
you."
boy from Last Jedi. Come here.
they were ages.
You got the rank of master.
So, because again, like I said, Obi-Wan kept telling him, like, look, it's cool. You're one of the strongest Jedi ever. You know what I'm saying? You've excelled way quicker than anyone else your age has.
Obviously,
And
may
Anakin
or may
kept
not be
saying-
about you.
Right. And Anakin kept saying, well, it doesn't seem like they appreciate anything I'm doing here, Obi-Wan. And that's what kept bothering him. Even when he spoke to Yoda, Yoda was kind of just like, yo, get the fuck out of
And
here.
Palpatine
Who
played with
cares?
that. Palpatine used that.
Right, he
Palpatine used
manipulated.
that. Yeah.
Right.
He did.
Right. Let's see. Anything else? I would hope they show us how he escaped. I honestly think it's one of those things that just doesn't matter. Like they're
I think
not
it
putting
matters.
much substance into it. Because I'm like,
I
that
think
would have been a perfect moment to show who grabbed Grogu
Yeah.
and ran out of it.
Yeah, I would like to know.
Yeah.
We don't know what else he's going to unlock, though.
True.
I also don't think he's going to stay with Luke. So that's why.
Yeah,
We're going to have to
yeah.
see at least one more. We're going to have to see one more. I'm hoping
Hey.
you're going to see a little bit
Hey,
more.
know what? I know.
hey, guys, the upside is episode 3 of this season's Mandalorian is next week. So, I mean, like, just,
Wait, no,
just
no,
hold
time
on
out,
and
Patches.
we'll see.
Time out, Patches. When he goes back with Din, you know what we're all forgetting?
No.
Grogu's going to get a little injured. He's going to go on a back to tank and then just have flashbacks for
That's
3
it.
episodes. And we'll see how
We'll
he
get the
escapes,
answers.
where he goes. We'll get all the answers. But you guys just can't complain about that. You have to accept.
I
That's
accept
how
it.
we get our
I'm
answers.
going to make a bold prediction really quick. I think, and this is a cameo nobody's going to expect next episode, Boba Fett.
Whoa. Whoa.
He
Whoa.
actually talks.
All right, that
That's
So
tall.
much.
you
I don't
mean
know.
Bold
man.
more than
prediction.
5 lines?
insane.
I mean, all right, let's do an over under of how many lines.
Patches, all he
Boba
has to
Fett
do
has.
is sigh. All he has to do is sigh in this next episode, and he did more. He didn't have a speaking line.
Well, in this episode, he did.
No,
Hey,
no, we went back and
no.
watched it. No, he didn't.
No.
Boba?
Patches,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
swear he
He
did.
nods his
I
head.
swear.
What does he
did
say?
do it.
No, he
No.
really doesn't. Go back and watch it. He
No.
doesn't say
He did.
one word.
Oh,
All
crap.
Fennec.
Yeah, no, it's Ming.
All
Yeah,
Fennec.
Ming
It's
does
just
all the
Fennec. It's
talking.
all
Yeah.
Fennec.
Hey,
You know what
look.
somebody suggested, and this actually would have made sense, that Boba would have if they would have had to take a Boba ship. That Boba should have went with him to try to recruit Cobb.
No,
maybe-
no, but time out. It's the same reason why Boba didn't stay to help Mando and the team fight Moff Gideon.
No,
If
I
Luke
understand.
had
No,
found Boba there. So it's the same thing. If Cobb had seen that Mando gave that suit to somebody else when he took it from him,
but
that would have
that's-
been a very interesting
that would have made it better
conversation.
though. That would have made that scene even more.
That would have
Yeah.
made it so more uncomfortable, especially when because picture when Mando and Boba leave, and then Cad Bane says the line, "You should have kept your armor," and he's like, "Fuck, it was literally right here."
Yeah, but you're
I
forgetting
could've
two
taken it
things.
back.
You're forgetting two things that we got from all 4 episodes of Boba, right? With Boba. 2 things he always does. He makes sure he tells you his name. I am Boba Fett. Everybody, he says that to a droid, a
True.
rat catcher. Like a rat catcher's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm Boba Fett, and he tells them the story of his father and the lore of the Mandal, of the uniform, it's the suit itself. So that would have just right there. Oh, okay. So that was your dad's. This is your suit. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, no, I don't know that I needed to hear that conversation whatsoever.
Okay.
I already didn't like that I had to see the deputy. The only thing that appeased
Oh, I
me-
love that he got shot.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
deputy.
no,
The deputy.
the deputy.
Yeah.
The only thing that appeased me is the fact that he died. I'm just like, okay, that's the way.
He
That's the
exists
way.
just to die.
You think
Yeah,
if
he
he,
exists
if the
just to-
deputy's not
exactly
there,
right.
let me ask you this: if the deputy's not there, because he clearly distracts Cobb,
Yeah.
you think Cobb gets a cleaner shot?
Hell no. There is no gunslinger faster than Cad Bane in the galaxy. No one. I would have called bullshit if you're telling me this character you created is a faster gunslinger than the guy you've already established.
Cobb
Isn't
Vanth,
that-
I think, was from the book stuff.
I don't know. I don't remember. Was he from the books?
No, not a comic book. I think he's from like a book.
Oh, like an actual book, like a
Right.
book. Yeah,
book.
I don't know.
like words, like left to right,
Not
top to
words.
bottom.
I don't know what
They
those
need
are.
snipers.
Phrases
Snipers.
together
You
and
mean
make
You
sentences.
mean the Bible?
Yeah.
You mean the Bible? That book? Not that book?
And
Oh,
I
there's
didn't.
other books
I
with
don't
Spider-
mean that Cobb would have
Wait,
bested him.
you
I'm
mean
just saying-
Thrawn, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Look, all I'm saying is,
Yeah.
yes, he was distracted. He
Yeah.
was heavily distracted, right? But Cad Bane still would have gotten that shot off fast.
No, I agree, but I feel like Cobb might have gotten a shot off too.
Oh yeah,
I don't know,
dude.
Both,
the whole
Cad Bane
whole
was very
point of that, the whole point of that standoff was you saw him looking over at his deputy like, don't do anything stupid.
Time out though. Time out. You ready for this, Patches?
No,
We actually saw this. Hunter from the Bad Batch is a way better shot than is it Cobb?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
nice.
man.
Cobb. And when Hunter squared off against Cad Bane, same thing, not distracted whatsoever. He didn't get one shot off.
well, who says Hunter's a better shot than Cobb? Have Hunter and Cobb gone face to face? Who knows who's better, eh?
Hunter 1,000%.
I mean that's pure
That
conjecture.
Is
sir.
Hunter
That
the
is
one that looks like
pure
Rambo?
conjecture?
Yes, Hunter looks
Hunter's
just
the
like
one that
Rambo.
looks like Rambo.
Yeah.
He has a hunting
yes.
specialty.
They need some snipers on here.
Yeah, he didn't go
Yeah,
up against the
come on.
sniper.
Yeah, Fennec.
Yeah, I was gonna say Fennec is a
Fennec Shannon's
Yeah,
a sniper.
Fennec's a sniper.
Yeah, I actually Wikipedia'd it, and Galandro was like the fastest gunslinger. Anyone know Galandro?
Galandra, I don't think is canon anymore.
Really? Oh, okay, because it was all
Yeah, I
before
think
the
he's
Battle
canon.
of Yavin, apparently. But
Yeah, I don't think he's canon anymore.
Ah, sure.
Honest, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, it seems like canon today is whatever Filoni says.
pretty much.
So if Filoni tomorrow was just like, guess what, Maul's alive, we'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
And whatever they show us going forward.
Right.
Yeah, that's all
I mean,
canon.
imagine if they did the robot legs and everything in live action. I want to see it, man.
Imagine if they brought Maul back, but the only thing not robotic was his head. Everything is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
everything
still want
was
that
robotic.
payoff though. Like, I mean, we got at the end of Solo just that tease of him. So, I mean, I know we're a lot further in time where we're talking right now, but I want a little bit more of him in live action. Do you think we'll ever get it?
I think we all do.
Obi-Wan, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan might do it.
No,
Why
no,
not?
No, because you already showcased that in Rebels. So I doubt you double down on it. And Rebels is so recent.
Maybe,
Um,
but like a flashback though. So there's got to be a flashback of something
I don't think so.
in a back to tank.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think. God,
Back to the back to tank.
I don't think so. Mainly because again, his focus, like you're bringing in Vader and Inquisitors. You
Yeah.
don't need to add Maul to that. like,
True.
like if this show didn't have Vader, if it was just Inquisitors, I'd be like, yeah, because I could see Maul working with Obi-Wan and then turning on him.
Oh.
But you have Vader. You don't need to just boggle it down with too much.
I remember where I thought we might get it, and that was only because you think that we're going to get introduced to Kiara's character, right? And maybe in
Yes.
a flashback just to show where she's been because we haven't seen her since Solo.
Right.
We see maybe some interaction with her and Maul. That's what you and I spoke about in one of the streams before.
I don't think we'll get that. It would be interesting because he trained the
Yeah.
hell out of that woman. She
Yeah.
is a lot tougher.
It would just make more sense
because
because remember we haven't seen her since Solo, right? And she
Yeah.
was a badass in that movie, but whatever. But to see her in a different, a different time now, it would
Mhm.
make sense just to see where she got trained to do that. So we know as an
And
audience,
see a full skill set and everything else.
like
Yeah.
a training montage
Mm-hmm.
with Rocky
Yeah.
4 music in the background.
Right.
I don't know. I'm really
I always
thinking
think about
not
Team
in
America
Marvel.
when someone says montage.
Team
That's all.
America, yeah.
Because even
Mhm.
Rocky had a montage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Isn't
she's
the,
probably
is
not.
the Lando series still happening or no?
That's on the shelf for right now.
Is it?
There's
Okay.
been no information as far as when it's starting.
Anything since we heard about it.
I was gonna say that could be a spiritual successor to Solo, but
Oh,
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yep.
1,000%.
Yeah.
that's a shame.
1,000%. But Ryan, give us your thoughts on this this episode of Book of Boba.
I mean, it's probably all already been said even before I got on, but honestly, just I wanted more of Boba, but I mean, everything we got was just like every little piece of Star Wars that you could possibly have wanted kind of put together in one episode. It was perfect. I do want to see just that bridge between the building of the Jedi Temple and the destruction of it, because we've seen the destruction. So, what were the things that happened in that time period? I hope we get that one day. Grogu, always awesome. The choice, I know we kind of talked about it before. I kind of want to see him put on that little baby chainmail. I think that's going to be cool. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think that they give us kind of a in-between swerve where he puts it on, goes and helps with, that big battle, I guess that's coming up in the next episode, and then returns to Luke?
I don't think Luke would let him have it. Let him have it like that, both ways like that. Like I said, I could see something like Luke letting him have the lightsaber to kind of protect himself.
Yeah.
And then just telling Mando, like, if Grogu ever needs anything,
Yeah.
Just find me and I'll help him with whatever he needs. But for Luke to lease him, because here's the problem: once Grogu is in the care of Mando,
Yeah.
I find it very hard to believe he'll be able to let go enough to come back and fully give himself to becoming a Jedi. I don't think he'll be able to do that.
Really quick though, and if it was just to help out, let's say, for argument's sake, Grogu senses that he's in trouble, right? And he goes to help out. You can argue that that's literally exactly what happened to Luke on Dagobah.
That's what I'm
thinking. He interrupts his training because he senses his friends being tortured in Han and Leia, and he disregards everything that Luke and even Obi-Wan came in Force Ghost to try to stop him from doing, went and did what he did, and came back and finished his training. So why can't Grogu?
Exactly.
Because Luke realized that was a mistake. That's what he was telling Grogu. You can't split yourself. You can't do both.
What was the mistake? He became what he wanted.
No, but Yoda's point was you cannot do both. You can't. It's like what Dr. Strange told Peter. You can't share two lives. The whole point is to not have the attachment, right? So if there's something out there, when Grogu was laying over, he wasn't tired. His mind was just preoccupied in thinking of Mando. His heart wasn't in it. He doesn't really truly want to be a Jedi. I think he left with Luke because he felt as though that's what Mando wanted him to do. That's why Luke said, you have to tell him he can go.
Yeah.
Or he won't go. So I think part of Grogu is like, well, I only did this because I thought that's what you wanted me to do. But I don't want to fucking do this. I tried to forget about being a Jedi. I don't want to do any of this shit. I want to bounty hunt with you. So I think Luke's whole point and Ahsoka's whole point is he has to decide. Do you want to go with him? If you do, you go with him. But you can't just jump around because you'll never fully give yourself to what you need, which is giving yourself to the Force. So albeit Luke did it, Luke is not suggesting that he do it. Luke's not telling him, well, if I did it, you can. Luke's telling him, I did it, but don't do that shit.
But what was the line between attachment and just if you're a Jedi and if you're going out to help somebody?
Like
what's
the
the difference
noble
between
cause.
the two?
Because the difference was he didn't go to save them to defeat Vader. He went to save them because that was his sister and his friends. That's the attachment. That's what Jedi aren't supposed to have. I wish I could give you a great example, but Trayvon hasn't gotten
okay, let me blow a hole. Sorry, Trayvon. Let me blow a hole in your theory here. Okay.
Thank God you didn't say something else. Okay.
Thank you. All right. So if everything you just said were like true across the board, why was Luke training Leia knowing full well that she had an attachment with Han and they were in love and they were together?
She had a son.
They never finished their training though. That was the point.
But then why? But then at that point, if he were like going down that path, then why would he even consider training her then?
Because that's why he stopped. He was trying to teach her in order to fully do it, you have to cut that off. And she couldn't. which is why they never
But
finished.
okay, no. All right, here I'll blow a hole in this even more. In Rise of Skywalker, the last night, in the flashback, the last night of her training, blah blah blah, she saw her son and blah 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 blah. So she was already married to Han, and she already had a kid. So she already had not only one but two major life attachments, which by definition of the Jedi cannot happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean,
they haven't. That's my only point. They haven't. He stopped training her because
then
she
she
couldn't
should.
let go of the attachment.
She stopped training. She
No,
quit.
he stopped.
Yes. No, she quit. She threw down her lightsaber. His words. She threw down her saber to say that it would be picked up one day.
And I get you. They retcon that. But in the actual comics, he stopped training her because she just couldn't let go. And then they came in and then just retconned it. But that's not how it originally was. Luke was training her, but she
I don't
couldn't
think it
let go.
fucking matters who quit and who didn't quit. The point is, she's not a Jedi. She is
Right.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
to tie in
And the
back
whole
with,
Jedi Order needs to be rewritten. That whole attachment shit is stupid.
to tie
I
back with
agree.
what he was saying, though, I genuinely think, though, people can make mistakes and still find forgiveness. I think that's a common trait throughout Star Wars. So, I mean, if he goes off, if
Anakin.
Grogu does go off, there's still a chance for a redemption. Maybe he doesn't become the greatest in the galaxy, but he could still be trained.
But there's not a thing of redemption. He doesn't have to be redeemed. The point is, he does not want to be a Jedi. That's the thing. So Luke is saying the decision now is for you to make it. Do you want to stay here, learn how to use this sick ass lightsaber, and
That's
become a Jedi, or do you want to go home? If you want to go home, that's fine. But you can't do both. And that's what he's trying to tell him. That's what Ahsoka was trying to tell him. The way you guys are running the Jedi Order is wrong. It's just wrong. And it's what Mando said. That's not how it should be. He's absolutely right. But the only way that the Jedi were able to, because again, the difference was the Sith only acted in emotion.
Yeah.
Only acted in emotion. So you needed to be against that or you would become susceptible. So that's what I'm saying by if you're Luke, you did that. And let's not forget, Luke was ready to kill Vader and Palpatine. And he had to walk himself back. Why? Because he was so susceptible because he's fighting his father. That was his attachment. So he's trying to say, I've learned from that. And if you can separate it, please separate it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's why I think if Grogu can't go back and forth.
And all I'm saying is, in terms of Star Wars, it's a lot of echoes of the past. A lot of stuff tends to, from generation to generation, you see a lot of it repeating themselves. I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past him to do something akin to that. I don't know where it specifically goes, but him going to help, but also coming back to continue training doesn't seem out of plausibility.
I also think he's going back to Din because it now stops everyone who's wondering at what point did Grogu leave between now and when Kylo went full on fucking crazy. Yeah. Now, if he goes, we now don't ever have to ask that because he was never there with the rest of the students when Luke had that full school. So I think we're also to not muddy those two waters.
We're also only talking 5 years after Jedi as well. So, that being said, I mean, Kylo, shit, he was I'm just speculating, a teenager when Luke took him to the temple. So, I mean, we got some years with Grogu before, before Ben comes in, before Ben comes into the fold.
Ben now, I assume would be what, 9?
4 or 5.
That's at 5 at the most, and that's assuming Leia. That's assuming Leia was pregnant at the time of Death Star 2 going poof.
Han was way too excited at the end of that movie. He definitely got some. She was definitely pregnant. Han didn't give a shit about the galaxy being safe. He was just like, yeah, scored. But yeah, no, I think it's all leading to we can just get Din back with Grogu in season 3 of The Mandalorian.
The biggest indicator of that is the fact that they hollowed out the starfighter for him.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as someone was saying, jumping around a little while ago, it got me thinking too, how much battle Grogu do you think we're going to end up getting? I mean, do you think he'll be an active participant in this fight, or are we going to have to get a couple seasons? Because I mean, we saw him flipping around on the rocks. He's kind of coming into his own, but how much can he really contribute physically at this point?
I honestly could see, not saying it will happen, but I could see a scene where it's like, shit, Mando's against it, something's about to happen, and then you just see it stop.
All hope is lost moment.
Is that, and Grogu's just like using the Force to hold the same way Grogu saved him from the fire in season 1.
Totally.
Something like that. Yeah, I could see something just small.
Or that, the creature that he was fighting. Remember, he was holding him in thin air. He was holding him in air.
Exactly, right. Exactly. Yeah. And look, everyone thought it was adorable when Yoda was hopping around fighting Dooku in Attack of Clones.
Oh, yeah.
How do you best that? You make Grogu hop around with a lightsaber.
I'm for it, man.
Things out. Come on, that's adorable.
With Yoda's lightsaber.
With Yoda's lightsaber, right, right. And then picture how weirded out Grogu's going to be when he extends his lightsaber and then Din extends his dark saber. And it's like, oh, what? Like, we have so much to catch up on. When did you get that?
Wait, he has a lightsaber. Is he a Jedi or what? Does he have? He has a lightsaber?
No. Well, no. If he gets,
are you talking about Mando?
No, I'm talking about if Grogu gets the lightsaber.
Yeah. If he takes Yoda's lightsaber,
but using a lightsaber doesn't make you a Jedi.
No, I know that's yeah. Jedi. So if he gets the lightsaber, he's gonna go and help out Din.
Yeah, but I'm saying he wouldn't come back to Luke. Luke would just gift him the lightsaber.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm speculating. That's what I'm speculating.
Yeah.
But that is
like again, that lightsaber is like this big. I don't think Luke is saying like, all right, I'll come across another one of these.
But isn't that part of the worthy choice though? Isn't that to say you either get this or you don't get this? I mean,
yes, that's the point. But Juwan,
that is, but the Force is what's supposed to make that decision, and maybe the Force chooses both.
Juwan is the Force. He says he gets both.
I thought Padawans were supposed to construct their own lightsabers.
They are. But remember, Patches. At this point, Luke probably doesn't know where else they
to find kyber crystals.
Yeah. Plus, how many more lightsabers this size are you going to have a rightful home to go to?
Fair point.
I think also Luke has no interest in doing that shit either.
Right.
Helping him do that. No. Just use this. Which is why I said they retconned it from the books. The books destroyed Yoda's lightsaber. I think Filoni retconned that, so we didn't have to go through any of that shit. Like, here, just use this. I don't have time.
Or just repurpose Yoda's saber now. They don't really have to build a new one. They just have to just now sell those again.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm just picturing Grogu in his head, like, I don't even fucking like green. I want it blue. I don't fucking want green.
I see green in the mirror every day. This
right. I don't need it as a lightsaber. Like
I want red, like Master Anakin.
Yeah.
I thought he was super cool.
Hey guys, is it too much to ask for a semi-soft magenta lightsaber?
Right? Like, goodness gracious, can I not pick my own color palette?
Right.
But listener Jim, before Ryan, before we start to wrap up, listener Jim said, but Mace told him if what he said about Palpatine was true, he was wrong about him, but Anakin couldn't stay out of it. At that point, if you're Mace, you had already just ruined that relationship with Anakin.
Yeah.
The fact that Anakin even came to you and told you that was fucking shocking.
Let's make everyone happy. Let's just give Grogu Mace Windu's lightsaber and move on.
Right?
No, because then that would be accepting that Mace Windu's dead. I'm not ready to do that.
It's also way big of an equipment for him to use.
Man, imagine if he popped up in one of these live action series.
Yep.
I would love to see Mace Windu pop up in the Ahsoka series, where she just goes, "Oh shit, you are alive." All right, didn't think so. I wouldn't have expected that. Could have sworn I heard you die.
Just look at me like, little help. That's fine.
Right.
And you know what? You know what would bring this full circle? So it doesn't seem like we're getting out of Book of Boba Fett. Where Boba took Fennec Shan to get fixed is where Mace Windu went to get new hands. Boom.
Ooh.
Full circle.
Nice.
He also fell out of building.
Go.
Yeah, but we don't know what he fell onto.
Legs. He's getting new legs.
Probably the floor, I'm assuming.
New back.
I don't know that. There's flying cars in that city. He could have fell on one of those shits.
Right?
I don't know. But yeah.
Like Plinko.
Right, exactly. Listener Jim also said, I think the line was, "You have earned my trust," is what he said to Anakin. Yeah, but again, it was too late.
Too late for that.
Yeah, it was way too fucking late for that. Like I said earlier, Luke's interpretation of the Force is more forgiving of the rules. Luke very much does not agree with a lot of the views of the way the Jedi did.
Yeah.
But it's the only thing he knows. So if he has to teach it to others, he can only teach the little bit he knows and then start to branch off, which is
Wait,
why I
He
think
eventually gets the books too.
Which leads into his listener Jim's next comment was he only had a limited time with Obi-Wan.
Right.
So
right.
And
But also him being with Ahsoka will tell him, hey, everything you thought you knew, fuck all of it. Forget everything. It was horrible. It's what led your dad down the dark path. Just forget all of it. Just do whatever you want. That's what I did. Look how free I am.
Yeah, right. And spoiler alert, Palpatine's still out there. Yeah.
right. But Ryan, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
I don't know, but now you got me thinking about does Luke know about Gray Jedi with all of his knowledge, like
at this point, no. At this point.
Because if Ahsoka does come and tell him more about what's really going on, blow his mind, but no, I just want to see how this big battle goes down because it's the Pikes and then who else is involved in all that?
We don't know. Cad Bane. That's all we know.
Well, Cad Bane, yeah.
What did you say? The
on their side?
What is it? The Dawn, something Crimson Dawn, right?
But we don't. They mentioned Crimson Dawn,
right?
But we don't know if we'll see the actual head,
right?
Of Crimson Dawn.
Right.
It might just be a leg, like an appendage of the full organization. Yeah. So we don't know. That's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm thinking that's what's behind all of it.
Oh
right?
no, 100%.
Is Maul?
No, the Pikes are stupid. No way they're smart enough to be behind this operation.
Yeah.
If that's Crimson Dawn, what does Crimson Dawn look like now? Because that's all affiliated with Maul
and Kiara.
No, Crimson. Remember, Crimson Dawn was just it was essentially just gangs that Maul put together.
Amelia Clark.
Yeah.
Kiara, yeah. But I'm saying when he created it in Clone Wars with Pre Vizsla, it was just assembling all the underworld together and then just being the head of the underworld. So that's all Crimson Dawn was. So it wasn't like it was anything that we can't realistically see be brought in now. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't any huge characters that you're like, what? That can't still happen. Garth Saxton, I think, is one of the biggest parts of that. That I don't remember if Rebels killed him off or not. I don't remember Garth Saxton in Rebels. But he was one of the Mandalorians that sided with Maul. With that whole Maul clique of Mandalorians. So Garth Saxton is probably the biggest.
The Mandalorians,
The Mandalorians.
I just want to see Black Curzan just like tear up shit, just blast everyone to hell. Though he needs to have that big moment in the series.
He's awesome looking.
You 100% will. Look, if we have any if we as a group have any reservations of next week's episode, it's how they're gonna fit all this cool shit in it, right? Because it's so many characters we want to see get their just due. Like I want to see Finnick fuck some shit up. I want to see the Power Rangers fuck some shit up. I want to see Boba, Mando. You know what I'm saying? I want to see everyone have the same amount of screen time.
That's impossible. It's gonna be a 3-hour show.
We saw that with so many Avengers movies. Everybody got almost that
was a 3-hour movie though. This is gonna be like 50 minutes.
We'll see how they do. Because in Mando season 2, that little group had all the same screen time when they were running through the ship, trying to find Moff Gideon.
And that's the thing, like what people don't realize, like just 5 extra minutes in a what would normally be a 43 to 47 minute episode.
Right.
5 minutes can make the entire difference.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
You think we get an end credit scene?
100%.
I hope so.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
100%.
I didn't think about that.
100%. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, do we? Because I mean, we're already coming up on episode 3 of season 3 of Mando. So I mean, like, what more can you tease?
True.
You could tease what Luke's going to be doing with Ahsoka.
Maybe the Ahsoka, Obi-Wan. I mean,
I don't think
Obi-Wan. No, he can't.
He's working backwards now.
Yeah, you're going backwards.
You know what? Actually, I could see it being Ahsoka, a tease for that. But I mean, is Ahsoka next or is it Mando 3?
Obi-Wan.
Mando 3. No. He means out of these
characters.
Out of that, yes. Yeah, they're not coming back.
Mando 3 and then Ahsoka. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mando 3 and then Ahsoka's probably next year.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it could be Ahsoka. Look, it could end with Sabine coming up to Ahsoka and saying, I found him, and we knowing what that means. Like, oh shit, they found Ezra. Like, oh, okay. Oh shit. Like,
Man.
I can't wait. So there's so many different ways you can go. I mean, shit, we could even get our minds blown by Crimson Dawn after they get defeated, we're thinking we're going to see Kiara, right? Fucking see Thrawn. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, Moff Gideon wasn't acting on his own. Clearly, there's someone above him that he fears that is having the stuff go on.
The puppet
so
master,
yeah. So I'm like, it has to be Thrawn. There's no way it's Palpatine. It has to be Thrawn. Yeah. So I'm like, we could see that. There's so many things we could see.
Or we just cut to a back to tank and then inside his Maul. But
look, you know what? You're joking, but that would be worth it.
But it's just a little tank about this big with the head.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Wait, you mean like Futurama? Like
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Totally. Make it happen.
Oh man. All right. That's all we got, you guys. That is too funny. Where he says, please don't break glass. Small head. Anyway, I want to thank Joe, Joel, Trayvon, Ryan, and Patches for joining me and breaking down the penultimate episode of by the way, I never knew what that word was. Every time Joe used it, I kept thinking to myself, he is not using that word right. And
this is how you do a penultimate episode. This is it.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
Okay. But yeah, so everyone make sure on YouTube and Instagram you're following Just Your Average Joe.
What?
He breaks down so many different things.
So much.
Football, movies, TV shows, streaming issues, a whole bunch of stuff. So make sure you guys go check him out, follow him, like, subscribe, comment, please. No one follow Joel. He does not
follow me at just above average Joel on
just above.
See, Joel, that's how villain origin stories start. So I'm just picturing Joe 5 years from now, and that's when I started to hate Joel. That was the day. But please, guys, don't follow that channel. That is not a real channel.
It should be.
Oh man, no! Don't put me in that position. Because then, how do I tell people, hey, go watch Just Your Average Joe, but there's a Just Your Above Average Joel that you could be watching instead. Don't make me do that, Joe.
I wouldn't do that to you, Joe.
It's funny
though.
Joel definitely won't, but I am really thinking about maybe I have a YouTube page. I have a whole nother YouTube page with 1,000 subscribers. I don't know what to do with. I might just do that. Just above channel. Your average Joanne.
Spite channel. He's Larry David. He's doing a spite channel.
I'm opening up my spite store. Exactly. Yes. Make sure you're checking out Nerd with the Tech. That's Trayvon. He's going to start doing videos again soon. He doesn't know this, but he will. He will be doing it soon. Everyone works here. Sorry, Trayvon. Everyone works in this house. So you're going to be making videos again soon. Ryan, Nerd Rage Podcast. What do you got coming up?
So actually we're doing videos. It's kind of hush hush right now, but I'll just kind of tell it to your audience here. We're actually trying to make a convention happen this year. Yeah, myself and a big group of people that actually I think on the side, putting something together here. And then I'll be putting some video content together probably in the next month or so. So look forward to a lot of new things in 2022. Yeah,
absolutely. So make sure you guys are checking out the Nerd Rage Podcast. Twitter, Instagram.
Twitter, at Ryan's_ramblings for my stuff, which is more like, hey, have you heard about this? And if you want more actual news, go to @the Nerd Rage Pod.
There you go. Make sure you guys are checking that out. Patches, what aren't you guys doing at this point? You guys own a state. You guys have your own show. Like, are you going to become president? What aren't you guys doing at the time? Goodness.
The KJ Media Company is booming right now with the television show and and everything else we have going on. Biggest thing, the return of the Kind of Nerdy Girls season 2. We say season 2 because it's like episode 450 something. We're just calling it season 2 now. Right. So season 2, episode 2 is coming out. The first season. Our dear friend Tia from Geek Vibes Nation is is now part of the Kind of Nerdy Girls cast, hopefully all the time. So far, whenever she can be, she is always welcome. Yours truly is on there a lot. The Kind of Nerdy Dudes podcast, it's going to be eventually absorbed, and it's going to be the Kind of Nerdy Girls Dude editions now. So yeah, so it just more streamlined, right? Just make it easier. And then and obviously, KJ, my lovely wife, has everything going on, right? I mean, like, she is the mastermind of the Kind of Nerdy Network. Paranormal Crossroad season 1 is completely done. The television show done, in the can. We're good to go, right? So go to YouTube, pxroad.com, or just Kind of Nerdy Network. And
what is that?
What's that? The Paranormal Crossroad?
Yeah.
pxroad.com, brother.
Looking it up.
Paranormal Crossroad is, you'll see the purple X. We bring peace to those experiencing the paranormal. It's not a come at me, bro, kind of paranormal show. So we don't do that. We are the other side. We are the peace, love, and light of the paranormal world. So that's that. Yeah,
Patches is right. That is exactly what they are. I did see them sword fighting once, but they are very much peacekeeping. The sword fight was
no.
It was more sabers, but
right. No, I'm extremely happy for the Kind of Nerdy Network over there. They are slaying it, and what you guys don't know is that they've become so massive that soon they will pull a Disney and buy us, and we'll become Kind of Nerdy TVN. So we'll become Fox very soon, guys. So make sure you're following all things Kind of Nerdy Network. So when the transition happens, you are kept up to date. But I love
Welcome to Geek Buys Nation, brought to you by the Kind of Nerdy Network.
Like, when did this happen? I'm like, I don't even know. I woke up one morning and they were just like, all right, so you work for me. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what just happened, but all right, cool. But please make sure you guys stay tuned. Tomorrow, huge shouts out to Joel, who put this into the works. We will be doing, for the last 2 episodes, and then, we'll be doing it more for the other DC shows. We will be going live tomorrow to break down the newest episode of Peacemaker tomorrow night. So we'll be going live again to break down Peacemaker. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And look, Joel made a good point to me. He said, look, you do Marvel, you do Star Wars, we don't do anything for DC. And he's absolutely right. So when Titans comes back, we'll do it for that. And whatever else comes down the pipeline for DC in their streaming, we will be doing live streams for. Cool. Just hopefully they keep it away from Wednesday and Friday that apparently. Yeah, don't make life harder for me, DC. I don't want to have to go, all right, well, Bad Batch, Moon Knight. Sorry, Titans. It's not enough days here. Sorry.
Hey, Nightwing deserves better than that. Come on.
Look, if there's anyone that agrees with that, it would be me. But if you're telling me that one is Wednesday, one's Friday.
Don't make me choose.
You're making it hard for me there. You know what I'm saying? So don't put it on a Friday.
Unless it's wearing a black suit, then I'm not. Yeah.
If a certain someone is in Gotham, I don't give a fuck what's happening.
Little pointy ears.
Yeah, Batman takes
kind of like what you're wearing on your head right now.
Exactly. Yeah, Batman got this look for me. I'm Bat-Tasha. I'm Bat-Tasha, man. That's my character. But anyway,
Joanna,
I want to thank you guys so much. Man. Shut up, Joel. I hate you. God, I hate you so much. Anyway, I want to thank listener Jim, Mr. E, Michelle, KJ. Am I missing anyone? No, that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm missing anyone. My dad popped in here. So shout out to everybody in the comment section. You guys are always rock stars. And look, thank you to everyone who goes back and watches this even after our lives. Just please do me a favor, comment. If there was anything inaccurate that was said by me, and I'm sure there is a mountain full, call me out, please. I love it. So then I can go, oh shit, I was wrong. Let me Google that. So
Well, if you've seen any of us, chances are that's going to happen. So
it better not happen with Joel. I depend on Joel to tell me everything. He better not be getting
I
shit
am
wrong.
not perfect.
he is the human almanac of Star Wars. Yes.
Well, more so Marvel, DC, and everything else. That is Joel's wheelhouse. So if he's ever wrong in that, it just means someone changed something. It's less likely Joel was wrong. More likely they just moved the field goal post. But again, thank you guys so much. And we will see you next week for the finale of Book of Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, Grogu, Fennec Shan.
Anyone but Boba.
Everyone but Boba.
Cad Bane, Pike, Tusken Raiders.
Nice.
So we'll see you guys next week. Till then.
Black